Hello everybody, Sawadee Krap. This is Alert Siri Boon Me coming at you live from the world of digital racing for Thailand Super Series Digital Racing. Well, to be a little bit redundant, with a little bit of a 0 and 1 here and there, they say that this is the new era of racing for Thailand Super Series 2020, kickstarting things off with the digital world, as you can see. And of course, last week we did have many of the coming up ranks into the world of digital racing, in the world of AM racing and pro racing. First of all, let me just kickstart off. Once again, this is Alert Siri Boon Me, holding it live. And we're going to go straight to the drivers roster. But first, I just want to say that TSS Digital Racing is the new project in Thailand, of course, stemming from the Thailand Super Series, which is, of course, based off the circuit racing world held in the ASEAN region, overseen by the Automotive Authority of Thailand, which is, of course, the RAAT. All right, folks, so before we go on to see some of the drivers out there, I just wanted to say that this is a great opening for challenging drivers, up-and-coming drivers, even young drivers to join the world of digital racing. And of course, we are opening the platform using this technology with the Gran Turismo in association closely with Thailand Super Series Digital to bring together all the racers from around the Asian region and of course Thailand as well. Okay, so before we go on, I'd like to say that we also are awarding many of the drivers. So with the winners for each of the races, we also have racing trophies as well as monetary awards as well, 10,000 baht and so forth, 6,000 for second and 3,000 for third, as well as the Han Cook cap for all the positions, whether it be 1, 2, or 3, first, second, or third. And of course, you can't forget to stay cool with the shades from Deck. That's right, folks. One of the sponsors out here as well for giving us the wonderful awards for the drivers to remain cool. All right, so without further ado, I also like to say that some of the things that had happened during the highlights from last week's race, which happened on the previous Saturday. Let's see what had happened earlier on, shall we? Let's kick it off. Well, this is some of the highlights. Of course, you know the Thai guys over there, Go, right? He's also holding it down in the house for the Thai folks over there, so don't forget to check him out over at Thailand Super Series on Facebook page. If you just prefer the Thai, that's who you listen to. If you prefer the English, then you listen to me. Let's say reboot me. Anyway, we've got all these drivers here. See, behind the scenes, we've got to look at how everybody's using their simulator cockpits, and you see a lot of young drivers from a wide variety of teams, and they are all prepped and ready. Some of them even with the gloves. All right, so with the race being held at Autopolis in Japan, all right, the race kick-started for AM class. We also have also pro class as well. There's a shot of Pikachu, the only race driver from China as an international racing member there. And as you remember or can recall, he was pretty much bumped. There we go, bumped from the rear. And the reason why that happened was not sure. But Jarza last week got into a bit of a bumper tussle right there. Got the 5 seconds deducted right off his time. However, Jarza, being the true sportsmanship that he is, he showed sportsmanship by slowing down and waiting for Pikachu to come on around and catch up again. Talk about having sportsmanship. And this is a simulator. I guess it's quite great to have a simulator replicate even all the way down to the driving styles and the mentality that goes behind each of these drivers' mind. So, Jarza, even though he was deducted 5 seconds, he had the sportsmanship to slow down and let Pikachu play catch-up. And there you see Pikachu trying to come back and regain that loss earlier on. So, Jarza, which is a tag name. He's got the code name of Jarza 59. If you check out his PSN number, you'll see it right there. Also, we've got teams from Overheat playing around with the Mercedes, the Merc, All right. And look at them go. Obviously, with pit stops in the simulator, everything's going to go hunky-dory, no problems whatsoever. And that is probably going to be the optimal time any driver ever gets to see this side of the earth. Being a simulator. I wonder if they'll ever try to replicate pit crew mistakes. Maybe in the future, who knows? But for now, none of that is going to be taken into account. However, what is taken into account is, of course, the tire usage. And from last week, we can see some of the drivers using the S tires or even the M tires, medium cut. Here's a shot again. Pikachu also in second there. Paul, 76 Vatana taking the lead. And there's Steve Nash, folks. Steve Nash is one of those drivers looking to hunt down second position. He held that position down pretty well consistently, I might add, over the whole entire race. However, he did fall short of clenching in first position, giving way to Paul 76 from Vatana, also a Vatana team member, to gain the win. Shot out to the GR Toyota. Here's a shot of the Toyota driver there. And basically, Akagi, racing for GR, pretty much pushed the limits of the Supra as best as he could. Of course, not having the optimal line will give him a little bit of an issue and therefore causing Pikachu right there to pass him on over. But then again, as the race continued through the event for the AM class, and we saw the checkered flag, Ball 76 finished in and therefore gained him 10 points right there. Second place went to Nash, Steve Nash. So that driver, Warut, got 8 points. All right. And basically, Steve also jumping in for Vatana. So here we go. We got Powerit Paso from Paul 76 Vatana. There you go, getting number 1. All right. As you can see, 10 points right off the bat. Warut getting second place with 8 points. And Tititon Nanan with the M78E code name coming in with a 6 point in third position. All right. And there you see a shot of some of our Thai commentators as well. Leading it on into the next category, we also have Pro Class. Of course, here we see a shot of Stuvik right there, who was pretty much aimed to be number 1, but let's see what happens. Got a shot of Warren as well, out of the AF Racing people, racing crew, Maxitron, everybody. And we see, let's see, everybody who's trying to go for number 1. These are basically the highlights from last week's race. Don't be confused. This is not happening anytime not today. So everybody learned from whatever mistakes they had earlier on. But the race was really, really intense. I remember that Stuvik, he mentioned that in an interview, I believe, and also a video over on the online, that he was very impressed with some of the online drivers, with some of the new challengers. Right? And he had to give way because he was a little bit slow. But that's okay because that was just the first race. And nothing can be concluded as of yet. But with 3 more races to go, there you see a shot of AF Racing right there trying to get back in onto the pavement. TA Power, the Mustang. Wow. I love that. I love that ride. V8 power all the way. But of course, it's too bad we don't get to hear the rumble or feel the rumble. But on the screen, it just looks exciting as can be. Tan T right there. And a shot next to Vatana, B&W Banks. Side by side, they were coming around the bend, 3 and 4 all the way. Tan T taking the lead from AAA Car Wash, was able to lead most of that lap. And then, of course, here's the AAS Motorsports here team in pits. Usually AAS Motorsports, they are really heavily into the Porsche scene. So Porsche fans out there, you might want to cheer for AAS Motorsports. And here's a Tanti 888 Car Wash back in number 1 position. due to a lot of the pitting that had happened. Actually, with one of the reasons why Stuvik mentioned that he couldn't get in first position once again was probably because he took a little bit too long in the pit row and caused him to take so much time. And he also mentioned it was probably due to filling up too much fuel. Talking about fuel, the usage of the fuel is also simulated. So nothing is left out to wonder, the cars using what tires and, how much fuel is being used, because these drivers, they have to take into account that the tire usage is taken into account with all of the races being limited to hard, medium, or soft. And of course, the game wears down, the wear rate for the tires will be exaggerated up to 5 times the wear. So if you think about it, if you're driving on these cars in real life and you're wearing down these tires 5 times the actual gameplay mode, you're going to simulate a little bit more realistic tire wear, I guess, just to make it more challenging as well. And as for the fuel consumption, 3 times the sip rate. So we're not really talking about sip rates here, are we? PSC the Mian coming in there in first position. That's with a Gundam livery on the Lamborghini. And of course, a shot of Babe YK, BBR, as you know, Billionaire Boy Racing. I just love that name. Checkered flag there taken over by the driver there, the Mian, and garnished him 10 points right off the bat for the first position for Pro. PSC the Mian GT1 with Natayot Siragaya. All right. Sandy Stuvik came in with second. And of course, Sandy already mentioned as to one of the reasons he felt that he did lose his ground over to the PSC folks. But hey, things are still up in the air and the race does continue. This today will be the second race for both AM class, Pro class, and it will continue until the end of this month, July 2020, in case you're watching this sometime in the future. Okay, so what are these guys are going to be getting? Well, first of all, trophies. Everybody loves trophies. First place, second place, third place will be given trophies accordingly as the digital race continues over the month period here, which is pretty much 4 races taking place every Saturday. So be sure to check in with us on Thailand Super Series, the Facebook page of Thailand Super Series. It's pretty much self-explanatory, and once you get into that page, you'll find a whole load of information, whether it's going to be about the drivers, the cars they're using, even about how they're training, and clips, pictures, movies, movie clips, and of course words from our sponsors. Of course, I gotta say a shout out to our sponsors as well. Can't leave them out. Without them, we wouldn't be here. So thank you to Toyota Thailand, and of course Singh Corporation, Be Quick, Apollo Oil Thailand, Idemitsu Motor Oil, and AF Racing. And of course, we saw a shout out at the AF Racing earlier on with the Mustang, the V8 Rumble from the TA class. And of course, just to give you a little shout out also to JS Asia Beverage Bird's Nest or Juice Nest. I tried that stuff out last time. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Okay, so let's check in with the first racer coming in for Power It. For AM class, we have Power It Paso, PSN ID number 476, Vatana. 2 thumbs up, buddy. Here we go. Yeah, he's doing that chugga style right there. Getting 10 points right off for the Vatana team. Aston Martin GT3 revving away. And of course, an alumni of Idemitsu TSS Racing. Steve Nash, right there, coming in with second position. PSN ID number Vatana Steve 77, coming in with 8 points. Aston Martin Vantage GT3 is his medicine right there. And third coming in with the position, coming in with a Tititon, Nan. That's M78ESPR. 6 points with the SLS AMG GT3 machine. In fourth position, we've got Wasin taking a sip, probably from Sing. Wasin Gut Pitak with 5 points. PSN ID OVH City S with his Benz AMG. Fifth position, Hong Hui Sheng, Pikachu, Pika Pika. We've got driving the SLS AMG GT3 with 4 points, folks. And sixth position coming up. Let's check out with Tanapat. Do we have Tanapat in house? Hello, Pikachu, right there. Good luck to the international driver, Tanapat. Here we go. Tanapat, we got a shot of him finally with OVH Ice GT1. 3 points totaling so far from the first race, driving a GR Supra. Okay, folks, let's check out what else. Here we go from the Overheat Esports Group. 7th position, Anand Tanan Chai. OVH Anand Akagi. 2 points with the GR Supra. 8th position, Nat Danai Sri Bonkat. So with the off SPR will be his tag name. McLaren 650S GT3 machine is his poison. Taksin. Oh, no, wait. Here we go. I'm sorry. Jarut. Chon we said. I'm sorry there. Thumbs up. My bad. UTBS. Jarza 59. Driving a Merc AMG. Okay. 10th position. Here we go. Akrapon Misantia with a Punk RKD. Driving a Benz SLS AMG GT3. 11th position, Taksin Jarat Y. Jarat 9. So, Taki SPR coming in for the Aston Martin group. The V12 Vantage will be driving all around the track for him. And 12th position, we got John Tawat Mipasani. So, DNA 555. Driving a Benz AMG. And that is the roundup for the 12 drivers for the AM class. And of course, here we're going to talk about some of the details such as the stickers for the racing. The stickers, as you know, I like to call them as liveries. And of on the Ferrari here, you'll see the exact placement of the stickers as well as the numbers on the side with the TSS logo. And of course, like I did mention earlier on, the tires for the race will be spec'd for either hard, medium, or soft. And of course, the tire wear will be exaggerated just a bit, 5 times the wear, and the fuel usage around 3 points of sippage rate. Today, where are we going to be at? Well, we're going to be at Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya Grand Prix. And that's right, folks. It sounds a little out there in the Mediterranean. That's because it is. It's on one of the islands in Spain. What a great place to be. 4.655 kilometers around the track. Grueling race, of course, with 16 corners. And what type of corners are we talking about? High-speed corners. That's right, folks. Last time was a technical course. Autopolis was a truly spectacular technical course where the curves and corners were pretty much low speed. But this one is going to be high speed corners. All right, let's get back into the game, folks. Let's check out what's going on right now. Qualifying rounds, here we go. Qualifiers will last for 5 minutes as you see on the screen. Already people are revving their engines, ready to go. Now usually on the race time, we're going to see things such as, speed limits being enforced in pit row, and that is usually the case. But being that this is a video game and a simulator, a great simulator that is, here's a shot of Paul 76 Vatana out in front already. But once again, take it out that this is a qualifying, so this is going for the out lap right now. 37 seconds already into the shot. Watana with Paul 76 out in front. Aston Martin, beautiful. Followed with another Aston from Steve Nash, 77. We got other shots in the mix. We got the Mercedes. And let's see what else we got. Oh, of course, GR Supra. Wow, Toyota's really been making a lot of moves and strides. I wonder if you guys seen the the new Toyota out there, just released. It's an amazing car, great for roads, but of course all that translates from experience and know-how from the racetrack. So it goes to show that when you're racing on the track professionally, as we are doing right now, here's a shot of the McLaren as well, and of the Aston. A lot of this information is trickled down into the manufacturer's database and then, of course, turned into the wonderful road cars we have today on the roads. And some of you might think, well, first of all, with racing these days, I mean, what are some of the benefits to racing, right? I mean, it's a good question to ask because people might say it's a sport, obviously, but also in sports you have sportsmanship. And last time we saw Jarza, coming up against the bumper of Pikachu. Here's a shot of Pikachu right there for you, number 31 on the side, PSC there. And by the way, he's from China, so warm welcome to him. International driver here on the AM circuit, AM class circuit here out in Spain, Catalunya. And I just wanted to say that sportsmanship also is evident in the simulation, which is simulating the modes right here. You don't want to have a situation where you're winning something and then figuring out, well, you want it unfair, not fair and square. So that would just take off the honor of the game mode, right? So you want to win it fair and square. Here's pitting in just to make sure some of the things are changed. Maybe they want fresh new tires. Maybe they want to change for a different set of wheels here. Let's see. Looks like fuel tank is almost pretty much to the brim. Looks like a 90% fuel right there. Now, a lot of information on the screen right there for you. Not only just the speedometer and the gearing. One of the great information data technology and routing the data to you as a gamer, but also you get to see the telemetry, the G-forces that these cars are going to be exhibiting. So I guess if you have a cockpit, a good cockpit that you can rely on to transmit all that feeling to you, let's just say something like from the SS cockpits that they're up for grabs. I mean, you can possibly feel those bumps, maybe, and imagine yourself pretty much in the car. Shout out Steve, 77. He likes that orange Aston. And interestingly enough, even though he's supposed to be second position, he is out in front of Paul. But these two duos are running it out and using every bit of time to, I guess, get as much experience as possible. In other words, you want to use as much time to practice your way through the track. And let's see. So basically, taking a look at the drivers behind the scene. As you know, these are virtual drivers, so they're paying attention, but from the comfort of either their own home or from the sponsored booth. Some of them, such as Vatana or Overheat Team, and you see it right there. So some of them are even using the gloves, driving gloves, just to simulate the intensity. Here's a shot of 4 for you, Pa. Being in the shot there in 4th position. 5th going to off SPR is McLaren. Big Mackie right there. Got a shout out for our sponsors as well. Going back to the sponsorship, AF Racing. Did mention them earlier on. Of course, Bird's Nest Juice with Juice Nest. Thank you for JS Asia Beverage, by the way. Ranix Global PTE Limited. Or the folks over at Hankook Tires. That's right, folks. As you can see on the tires, there are Hankooks written all over it. And also, they are giving out the caps for the winners, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd position. Just to remind them that without tires, you're not going to be winning any races anytime soon. Hey, checker flag coming in right here, falling down for you. And we're about to get the race started. So everybody should get ready for the race to begin. Camera still on 1st and 2nd. And it looks like Paul's going to be still in 1st position. As the numbers haven't changed, we're going to get ready for them to get back into the grid. and get this race going. Third seems to be up with Jarza, driving the Merc. Back over at the sponsors list, we also have SCS Industry from Nexter, as well as Pano Revo big screen displays. Gotta say a shout out to our media partners as well. The big honchos over at True Vision Group, as well as True For You, Work Points, Entertainment Public Company Limited, Siam Sports Syndicate, Public Company Limited, Grand Prix International, Public Company Limited, and of course XL Autosports Magazine. All right. We got Pikachu right there saying Pika Pika with his headlights there. Flashing it yellow, yellow. Wow. Really knows his stuff. Okay. Looks like the grid here getting ready to start. Pika up in first. Ball 76 Vatana up in second. Wow, what a change up there. OHV City S in third, and Vatana's Steve 77 or Steve Nash jumping down to fourth position. So here we go. For the rest of the field, we got DNA on 555 and 321. Folks, we are now racing second race for AM class. And let's get it on. Leading the way for China right there, Pikachu. For the driver out of Thailand is leading the way, but it looks like Paul is, whoa, having a lot of heat over from OVH City. Meanwhile, Steve Nash trailing behind by 2 cars length. This is going to be really good, folks, because I was thinking that Steve Nash would be right behind Paul as a teammate. But let's see, Pikachu leading the way, cutting through the air. And the Aston from Paul 76 out of Watana team, trying to take advantage of any slipstream action there can be. Taking the corner over here. A very tight corner coming up. And they're going to get set up for a 90-degree turn coming up here. Look at, he takes the, apex. Some of them taking it a little bit too close for comfort. Got to be careful. We have marshals on the lookout, so you don't want to, cause any commotions with them, because once your tires goes off the road, well, they're going to deduct points. Penalties, folks, penalties. That's what you have it in the game for, to keep everything safe, secure, and also, of course, fair. Well, in this case, it's going to be fair because virtual racing. So it's always safe for now. A shout out to DNA 555. You know, the 555 in Thai translates to ha ha ha, which means, laughter. I guess he's going to bring a lot of laughter and cheer. Let's see if he can make it, push it up from 5th place. Still Pikachu making a run for it. Everybody's hunting for the Pikachu in front. Wherever he goes, everybody follows. Let's see if Paul 76 can outsmart him. And the Mercedes looks pretty strong. Look at the driver right here. Out of China. Totally in his game. I mean, check out his steering wheel. It is actually very, very closely replicated to the real thing there. Even the force feedback on the cockpit he's using is telling his body every rumble. I can see the rumbling on the rumble strip transferring over to his hand. This is great. I mean, games these days and simulators these days, they have gone through so many changes through the years, and every year it is getting so much better. Oh, Pikachu's got to be careful. You got to keep all 4 wheels on the track at all times. I mean, you don't want to hang out with all 4 wheels in the grass. That is a no-no. Oh, here's a shot. Here, Paul 76 trying to catch him up. Look at the intensity on Paul's face right there. And he's actually leaning into the corner with his whole body. That's how realistic it gets, folks. Wow. And he's like really taking control of the steering wheel right there for you. OVH City S. A shot with his Mercedes as his ride of choice for the team. Also got the nice setup there at his place. Totally in the game. Okay, let's talk about timeage here, folks. Down here with Steve Nash, he's 2 seconds behind, give or take 1 or 0.1 or 0.2 seconds behind OVH's, but he's got 2 seconds behind the lead of Pikachu up front. But he's still got a lot to catch up if he wants to play in the game with the rest of the folks. He's still got a while to go for third position, so that's going to take a while before he can catch up. Lap times already, well, I don't know, 143. He's already in the third lap out of 18, so there's a long way to go. Everybody wants to pace themselves. You don't want to win everything on the first round because that's impossible. You don't win a race on the first lap. And some of the strategies, like I've been speaking to some of these drivers out there, they have the strategy where they want to wear down the drivers. Now, in the usual race, such as the ones from Thailand Super Series, with the real cars and everything, they wear them down with the actual physicality of it, the mentality of it, because it's a brutal amount of force being exerted onto the drivers. The heat exposure, the vibrations, the sound, the noise, the whole shebang, right? But here in the simulation, you've got the mentality of just trying to play catch up with the driver up front, maybe hoping. Well, I should say hoping because that would be unsportsmanship of them. But if somebody does make a boo-boo up front, well, that's going to be bad because they could get deducted points. For example, if they go off the course or off the track, you know, the marshals will be keeping a keen eye on their performance. And this will reflect on the timeage being deducted, if any, on any of these drivers. OVH Ice GT1 in 9th position, in 10th position with the GR Supra. Anybody know what the GR stands for? Gazoo Racing. That's the racing branch or the performance branch of the folks over at Toyota. Meanwhile, shot up front, Pikachu is 0.5 away from Ball being able to catch up. So he's cutting it really, really close. Ball is trying to try to at least be in arm's distance, or at least see the bumper right in front of him. But that seems to be hard because Pikachu is showing really good performance today. Very consistent lines, no errors whatsoever so far. They are all using the whole width out here in Catalunya, of course on one of the islands of Spain. And that's one of the great things here. I would never imagine to see Thailand Super Series out in the international world until you get into the realms of digital racing. Once that happens, you know, I mean, it gives the drivers the extra edge to compete on an international level. Oh, look at how these cars weave over that sort of the S corner right there before they head on over to the long stretch in front of the starting line. This would be the optimal place, of course, where they could pass and gain ground. Okay? Over here, down by DNA. Where are you going here? DNA 555 in 7th. Meanwhile, OVH Anand Akagi in 8th. 9th is up SPR with the McLaren. I've always been intrigued with the McLarens. I mean, ever since the F1 came out for the road going car with the 3-seat setup, and that was a very genius move on the part of the manufacturer's side to have something very distinctive and standing out for production cars. Oh, here's a shot up from the roof cam. Out in 6th position, M78 ESPR trying to play catch up to UTBS Jarza. Of course, Jarza just last week, was deducted 5 points, but he played it really well with his sportsmanship, dropping down, slowing down his pace, and making Pikachu come back, at least get back into race position. So he took it a step further, all right? And I think that was very, very honorable on his part. Even though you do make mistakes, you are allowed for correction. But the marshals have deemed it that it was marked up for a deduction of timeage. So that time would have been used when whatever they finished for the final round of the race for that day, they would deduct so and so amount of times off the times, and that would of course tell you who would get first, second, or third. Uh-oh, looks like there's a slowdown going on right here. Penalty. Slow down, going for number 7, I believe. He's being cautioned right there, told to slow down due to probably an earlier error, trying to figure out why the error was caused or how it caused. Oh, a shot out between 9 and 10. Tussle. A McLaren up against a GR Supra. Do I see them bump and grind? I don't know. It looks like they were touching bumpers there. It's kind of hard to see because, of course, the damage isn't visible in these type of simulation. The only thing that would be visible if the momentum from the drivers would be taken off, either surprisingly, but I find it surprising that the GR Supra, overtook off SPR in 10th position, now dropping down from 9th. And let's see. And 6 laps into the race. Not halfway point yet, but Pikachu still in the lead and very confident. Look at the way he's driving, very calm. If you compare him to Boss 76, if you ever take a look at him and Boss 76, there is a difference in his expression, his body movements, his body language. You know, he's very composed, by the way, Pikachu, GT1. So that's one of the most important aspects of a driver that we're looking for the up-and-coming drivers around the world. You gotta maintain composure there. Oh, looks like pits down for a lot of these cars. DNA OM 555 for the S tires, filling up with the gas as well. Off SPR in pits as well. And that was quick, they're out. Having both refill and tires changed. Fresh tires, always good. And actually, that's a great call. Number 9th position, DNA OM 555 Mercedes takes it a little bit earlier than everybody else, right before the halfway point of the race. And I guess he's going to have to maintain that fuel and tires. So you gotta be careful. You don't want to burn off that rubber or that compound before you finish the race, because then of course you'll never get through to the checkered flag, and that's not good, because you do want to rack up points. And it looks like Pikachu is not having any problem whatsoever. No need to be worried, because the pacing that he's going through is keeping it pretty consistent, even though Boss 76 out of Vatana, I think, is inching closer, if I'm not mistaken. He's away from a car's length. You stick a car in between, that's how far he is behind first position. Meanwhile, OVH City S in 3rd, not that far behind. And I mean, think about it. If these two drivers up front, both Paul and Pikachu, make a mistake, then OVH City is up for the grab for first position. That is a possibility. Meanwhile, we finally get a shot of Steve Nash and also Jarza. And going through the straightaway, shot from the back of the road, 10th position, Bang RKD. The number overhead you see with the 0 up on top, that is pretty much the number that they have garnered for the race so far in terms of the overall points, I guess. So right now you want to have at least 6 points to be at least on the podium up front. Of course, if you win the race, you get 10, right? So the more you win, the more you get points. And that would determine the championship win for AM class for Thailand Super Series Digital Series. By the way, a shout out to our sponsors, Toyota Thailand, Sing Corporation, also Be Quick, Apollo Oils out of Thailand, also the folks over at Idemitsu Motor Oil, AF Racing, I want to say a shout out to them as well, wonderful racing, and always been a wonderful supporter of the series. now, for the first time for Thailand Super Series, the Digital Series. Is a shot from Hood Cam on the back end of Pikachu. Let's see, why is it so hard for Paw to catch up to Pikachu? What is he waiting for? I mean, it looks like he has all the makings that can actually go for the pass. Oh! Looks like there's a change now. Pikachu drops into the pit row. Now this, of course, would say the change in positions is evident. Ball out still there, followed with O City S. But sooner or later, he's going to have to pit, so I don't know. Pikachu takes the gamble coming in for pit row, middle of the race, exactly on the 9th lap out of 18 out here in Catalunya in Spain. Now, I mentioned earlier on the Autopolis race, which was last week, had a technical layout for the track. And of course, I'm not talking about the temperature or the elevation or anything like that. I'm just talking about the speed that the corners that they have to take. Whereas over here in Catalunya, the speeds of the corners are pretty high. I mean, they can whip it out and maintain a high speed there, pedal to the metal, so to speak. But if you lose the driving line and you're going at such a speed, that would actually make it a sticky situation for the drivers, because then you'll have an error that is exaggerated due to the speed into the corners. So there's a balance there. You have to pretty much know the course. And of course, these guys have been practicing, qualifying, practicing as well. So they know their limits, right? And the limits of each car, being that the dimensions of each car is different. Just the wheelbase itself is going to make these cars handle differently. Okay, like I said earlier on, they've got to pit sometime or another. Steve Nash already in pits, OVH City. Everybody coming in, changing in for the S tires, and of course filling up on fuel. Now by this time, Pikachu should be able to make it out in front. Will it be Ball 76 or Pikachu coming into the corner? Oh, clenches it. Ball 76. He pretty much probably say, you know guys, that's enough for fuel. You know what, just get the tires on. I want to get out there right before Pikachu makes the lap. And now the call for that was perfect. He came out in front just by a hair. By a hair, I mean 0.39 seconds in the lead. Man. So maybe if Pikachu had, put in less fuel, he could have had that. He could have had the lead on the second round out when Ball 76 came out of pit row. But that wasn't the case. Meanwhile, in second position, we got DNA 555. So Pika losing out 2 positions now with 8 laps left to go. And the top 3 drivers are as follows. Boss 76, Vatana, as you can see, Voltronics, DNA 555 in second. Pikachu, GT1 out of China with a .732 time behind Ball 76, Vatana. And where's Steve Nash? Oh, Steve 77 in 4th position. So somewhere behind Pikachu's bumper, we're probably going to see Steve Nash. Let's see if he can play catch up to Ball. And let's see. The lead is getting smushed right here because the amount of distance between the cars here is spreading fast. Ball 76, it used to be 1 car length away. Now it's stretching up to 2 cars away. Pikachu GT1 has got to find a way around. And, well, it looks like he did go around 555, but a look from the back row, 5th position, Jarza, 5th position. Meanwhile, M78E in 6th. are not bad in 7th. OVH City. The two Mercedes battling it out between 5th and 6th position, trying to go for 5th by M78 ESPR. And OVH City, who has 3 points in the overall pointage, is trailing behind in 7th position. I wonder why that is. Maybe it's because he came out of the pit row a little bit too late. Yeah. Look at the line here going by. Steve Nash, the Triton on the side of the Aston, and duck it into pit row. DNA 555 going for S tires. Dive it in with Voltronics. That's zip, 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 zip. Those tires in right there. Han Cook displayed proudly on the tires, as with all the other liveries and sponsorship. Of course, to say a shout out to Ronix Global PTE for giving us the Han Cook tires signage and as well the confidence that these drivers need on the track. You know, if you're driving around the track with some of the best tires in the world, you're going to be confident to do whatever it takes to pull those G-forces into these corners, especially if you're talking about high-speed corners. And Han Cook has really been upping the game. If you look at some of their performance tires, even for the road tires, a lot of the people there are taking the likings to them. Okay, look, a penalty. Oopsie doozy. Vatana, Steve 77, Steve Nash got a penalty for 1.4. Got to slow down for 1.4 seconds. Oh no. And of course, that as a result of marshals keeping a keen eye, possibly on, I don't know. I haven't seen any bumps or grinds. I guess we have to check out the replay when that does come after the race. And it should be coming to a close pretty soon because we're in the 12th lap from 18. Meanwhile, a shot from UTBS Jarza, 59. 4th position. His number 59 car right there. You got to remember, keep the tires on the track. You don't want to go 4 wide. Then cause the marshals to say, tisk, tisk, tisk. Jarza, 5 seconds behind the lead. Pikachu dropping down a second. Looks like there's a shot there for you. Meanwhile, Steve Nash, even though in 3rd position, got a penalty earlier on, just moments ago. And Boss 76 from Vatana made a pro move. Oops, we got somebody off the track. I don't know if that's going to be penalized or not. I guess we'll have to see later on. But back to the decision of Boss 76 that made an amazing comeback after coming out of pits. And it looks like 76. Bang, zoom to the moon. Oh, a little bit of a glitchy. Oh, what's up with the computer screen right there? A little bit of a glitch for you. I keep saying deja vu going up on the cam here. Oh. Well, that's what happens when you race digitally, folks. Maybe the server or the feed of transmission, the data rate is so intense. You gotta think about it. These cars, the amount of polygons that goes into the making of these beautiful cars, and of course the correct liveries as of to show realism. But these drivers are trying their best to focus and not pay too much attention to the glitches. As you can see just right there, it seems like it's got UFO power there for a second. Looks like lag time is pretty much kicking in. But that's part of the game. It's a digital. No problem. And usually you would see this happen where the glitches do cause some of the drivers to be ejected from the game. And that usually comes when the servers usually have a technical issue. Like I did say earlier on, these games were meant to be as realistic as possible. And with the realism comes the amount of polygon counts, the amount of data from the telemetry, from the tires. Everything's got to be computed individually for every pixel. So you can imagine how much information, gigabytes upon gigabytes, teraflops of information being fed through the lines here. So gotta say sorry in advance for the interruption right there, but I'm sure that the driving is still continuing and we're still coming back to you once the problem is resolved. In the meantime, I want to say thank you to the sponsor out here in the world of racing, who's always been supportive of Thailand Super Series and now for the digital world of Thailand Super Series, Digital Race. So a shout out to Toyota. Thank you, Toyota, and Sing Corporation, and Be Quick, Apollo Oils, and AF Racing, JS Asia Beverage, Bird's Nest from Juice Nest, and also Ranix Global PTE, which of course sponsoring the tires, as you see on the sidewalls of the tires for Han Cook. All right, SCS Industry, the folks over at Nexter Technology, and Pano Revo Big Displays. Of course, they're known for the greatest and brightest LEDs displays out there in town for your billboards. Okay. And of course, got to say thank you to our media partners, folks over at True Vision Group, and also for the True For You. Got to say a shout out to WorkPoint Entertainment as well, the public company limited giant who has a number of wonderful shows out here in Thailand and of course Asia. They're wonderful game shows as well. Siam Sports Syndicate Public Company Limited, and Grand Prix International Public Company Limited, as well as XO Auto Sports Magazine. Okay, folks, I've heard that the problem is resolved, and there are approximately 7 racers left on the track. So without further ado, I hope we can get back to the racing whenever that comes on screen so I can see what's going on. Yes, folks, I have to rely on the screen as well because I can't go back on the real circuit there out in Catalunya. You gotta have to give me a good airplane ticket there. Okay, back at Catalunya in Spain, folks. Bar 76, not a flinch, folks. Back in the game. It's like nothing has ever changed. Look at the car lead he has in front of Pikachu. Nothing changed whatsoever. He's got 2 car lengths in front of him with a 1.1 or 1.0 lead in front of Pikachu. Steve Nash still holding on to 3rd position with a penalty. Don't forget, he did get a penalty of 1 second. So that would be taken account thanks to the keen and watchful eyes of the marshals on the side, who, by the way, are right in the next room adjacent to me. Okay, folks, for Jarza 59 UTBS. Folks cheering for him. He's got 4.9 to catch up before he can get into the 1st position. But heck, he's trying to even beat out Steve Nash for the number 3rd position. But that's way back behind the Aston Martin. The Mercedes-Benz is trying to climb up, but he looks like he's running solo there. That's okay, folks. Anything can happen. 2 more laps left to go. 16 laps in the race from an overall of 18. And yes, folks, this is a new era of racing. Thailand Super Series always holding it down in the house in the ASEAN region, especially for the races out by Ban San or, Buriram, or even Pirat circuit. And of course, also remember that this year we almost went to the Vietnam Grand Prix circuit, being the support team, but unfortunately, due to world events being canceled, we decided to pull back out for the safety of the crew, because safety is always the number 1 thing on our minds. Oh, Pikachu almost sliding out on all 4 tires off the track, so you got to be careful. And there you go. I think he was a little bit too close to that, getting a penalty. Oh. Steve Nash is getting the penalty. Well, there you go. It looks like Steve's got to pick a better line in order not to get so penalized for things, and his penalty time is gathering, so to speak. Pikachu trying to play catch up, and the lead is ball 76 out of Watana. Look at the spread, 1, 2, and 3. They are evenly spread across the track. Coming down on the starting line, here we go. Lap 17 of 18. Here's the Aston Martin being told to slow down. And if he can slow down to a portion where he's going to get that penalty, smack dab onto his Aston Martin there. Meanwhile, teammate Ball 76 Vatana, all eyes on him as we're coming down to the last few moments of the race for AM class TSS Digital Racing. This is the second race for July. So on this wonderful Saturday in Thailand, kind of really hot, but I don't know, out in Catalunya, looking extra hot with all this racing going on. You can even see the debris on the track. And I wonder actually if some of that debris actually makes it into the physics of the way these cars handle. That would be actually interesting later on if they ever decide to add debris or oil slicks, patches of oil and whatnot. And one of the things that I actually miss from the real racing is actually the safety crew. I miss that safety crew. Usually the Thailand Super Series has a wonderful safety crew out there in orange. Alright, okay, anyway. All eyes on Ball 76 Vatana coming in through the S corner here. Ooh, let's see how he takes it there. Climbing up over, going airborne, launching on the sides. Here we go. Looks like it's no problem for him. Final lap, folks. Pikachu, it's now or never. It looks like it's going to be a long shot for him. Meanwhile, 77 Vatana is 77 Vatana, Steve Nash, looks like he's going to have a hard time to try to catch up with Pikachu ever since he's got that slowdown penalty going on for him. So it's pretty much a no chance unless Pikachu makes a crucial mistake, which he doesn't want to do. Meanwhile, Jarza, looks like the only chance he's going to get is if he has a way to take advantage of Steve Nash's penalty. Try to ram it right up there, get into third position. But all eyes are on Ball 76 out of Vatana, the Aston Martin driver here. Beautiful. Nexter slapped onto the side. I love how they have that heat exchanger vents on the fender there. Just a huge gaping hole there, just to let out the aerodynamics. I've also heard that the aerodynamics does play a huge role in the games. It's been tested digitally and replicated beautifully into the game as well. So the downforce that these cars have actually plays a great role in these high-speed corners, especially out here in Catalunya in Spain. Pikachu's got 2.9 seconds to play catch-up, so he's definitely off the map there because he earlier on was only a car lengths away, but it looks like he's dropping in pace. Either that or it's got to be Ball 76 Vatana who's gaining in speed, flashing his lights across the finish line. 1, 2, 3 there. Pikachu in second, Vatana, Steve 77 in third, Jarza in fourth. Off SPR. Looks like coming in right there for the fifth position. The McLaren trying to cross the line right here. And he does. Bung RKD coming in on the S corner. Wow, that's a unusual color for the Mercedes, but very bright as well. Okay, so like I said, there were many issues concerning the digital race here, being that some of the drivers did drop out of the racing. I'm not sure because if it was a digital whoopsie, but Ball 76 from Vatana clearly passed the finish line. And I think one of the most amazing decisions he made, I mean, this game was like a chess move. If you take a gamble, go into pits, and mess up on how much fuel you fill your car with, you can botch a winning. But it wasn't the case for Ball 76, who took the perfect gamble, didn't need to fill up too much fuel as it wasn't deemed necessary, even though the sip rate for these cars have been exaggerated. But he took the gamble and it worked. Pikachu later on came in second, but of course we're going to wait for the official results before we can announce it to you. And I'd like to say thank you to our sponsors once again, Toyota, Sing, Be Quick, and of course, Apollo Oil Thailand, folks over at Eden Mitsu Motor Oil. and AF Racing. And of course, you're going to see a lot of AF Racing coming up shortly in the Pro Series, coming up for TSS Digital. So stay tuned, folks. We're not finished yet, and the day isn't over for the second Saturday of July. Today being the 11th, if you are, sometime in the future, looking back at the videos we have over on the live feed over at the Facebook page for Thailand Super Series, you can get a look and glimpse of all the information, tidbits, pictures, reviews, even sponsorship privileges such as gifts and giveaways. All right, and of course, everybody's trying to capture as many points as possible. And it looks like Paul is doing pretty well in that division, trying to get as many points as possible. Each time you win a track race here for the digital series, you get 10 points right off the bat. All right, and it follows later on down the line: 10 points, 8 points, 6 points, and so forth. All right, even down to 1 point. But of course, the racers that don't get any pointage, it's not over yet. We still got tomorrow, the next race, which is the third weekend, and then the fourth race. So anything can happen. I mean, it could still be up in the air. Who knows? So give it a shot, and you'll never know, what's going to happen. But got to say thanks out to the folks over at JS Asia Beverage Bird's Nest, or Juice Nest, of course, and of course for the Hankook tires being presented in beautiful detail on the side of the tires or the sidewalls. Hankook, of course, representing a lot of the sticky action going on the tracks. Radix Global PTE, of course, is responsible for that. And SCS Industry, folks over at Nexter. And Pano Revo Digital Big Screen. Okay, folks, so while we're going on, also I'd like to say a shout out to the media partners. Here we are. Chris Gantasak, Series. Sandy Stuvik for the pro class. Sandy Stuvik, one of the favorites out there as well. Ani Watt, Carl Watana, out of the AF Racing folks out there. Natayot and Tassanapon. Okay. Pasu Lipta Panlop, one of the great drivers out there for the Porsche 911 RSR. Folks over at the M Mercedes-Benz AMG GT3 Club for Babe YK BBR. Tana Road, also one of the favorites from the Porsche 911 RSR camp. Larao Decimo. Yeah, his tag name right there. Tanat Satyen Tirakul. He's racing for the Mongkol Motorsports, by the way. And of course, Vatana. Who could forgive them? They seem to be all over the place, especially up in the first, second, and third position. Tana Tip will be representing for Vatana Motorsports, as well as, let's see, Tabu 36 in the house. Chanakan Ludwichai. Tag name, PSN number, Tabu 36. He will be driving for the Alpha Factory Racing Team by Polzar. Meanwhile, Porsche 911 RSR driver VPT, that's his PSN number here on the screen. Puripat, Poon Pum, out here for PT Maxitron Motorsports. And of course, last but not least, Tan TE71 Tanapat will be driving for AAA Car Wash and DC Garage. He will be piloting the Porsche 911 RSR. So with all the readouts for the drivers out there, you now know that, hey, what's the difference between this, the digital race, and the real race? Well, first of all, the name that is being placed on the screen. The names we use are the PSN numbers, PlayStation numbers, and that is going to be their ID tag number, what they usually go by when they register for these races. And of course, these guys registered pretty early and got their hands on wonderful consoles out there from the groups over at the Half Consoles, the SS Cockpit. You got to pay attention to SS Cockpit, folks, because this is a company that is up and coming in one of the most realistic cockpit setup. I mean, I would die to get one of these cockpits and get my hands on the steering wheel. And I've heard that there's an assortment of steering wheels you can put onto your cockpit station and make it customizable. And that's one of the great things out there. You can even make it as realistic as possible, with the Ferrari logo and whatnot. Okay, so other than that, folks, don't forget, you want to check out the TSS Facebook page. And I'll tell you why, because there's lots of free giveaways, especially from the good old folks over at the sponsorship land, which I mentioned earlier on. So if you want to play the game, you got to join in on the fun. Press like or share on the Facebook page. Give a few comments here and there and see what we pick out. Winners will be picked out by random, by the way. And it's not that we're going to pick our favorites or anything, but it's randomly picked. So everybody's got a fair share or fair pick out of the grab bag, so to speak. All right. And we've got the fourth race for the very lucky gamer. And that means I'm not talking about the drivers in the game. I'm talking about the gamers at home. That's right, folks. That means you out there in the world, the real world, watching us digitally on the Facebook page or the YouTube page. That means that the fourth race, after the fourth race, there's going to be a very lucky draw. Remember what I said about I dive for that cockpit? Well, this is your chance, folks. Over at the sscockpit.com, they are the folks behind the giveaway for, get this, grand prize half cockpit LRS. The SS series from SS Cockpits. That's right, folks. So, gotta say to you that, wonderful sponsorship goes to show that it supports the community. Not just the realistic drivers that are taking part in the game, but the people that support us. The gamers like you. And also, Sing and JuiceNest, of course, amongst the other sponsorships, such as Be Quick and Eden Mitsu and AF Racing. They are all involved in trying to make everything come together and culminate into a wonderful experience. Okay, so it looks like this is the final rundown. And it looks like here we are with Paul 76, Pavarit, Paso coming in with the Aston Martin in first position. Congratulations, getting a 10 score. Gary Hong from Hong Kui Sheng. Pikachu getting 8 scores in second position, all right? And, of course, Warut, Steve Nash, even though he did get a penalty, driving the Aston Martin GT3, gets 6 points. So he did come in third position. Congratulations on him. Jarut, John we said, gets 5 points, but coming in fourth position, all right? And fifth position going to Chontawat, all right? Driving the AMG out of DNA, folks, gets 4 for the scoring. Not Denied gets 3 points from OFFSPR driving there. Seventh position, Akrapon gets 2 points driving his AMG machine. So, Bang RKD, you're still in the mix. You're still in the mix. Okay, folks. Not bad, folks. So, we're about to get underway. That's right, folks. Don't forget, Pro Series about to get underway. So, you want to keep your eyes on this. I just mentioned to you the winnings, the official results of the AM class, second AM class, being July 11th. But the party isn't over because we're moving on to the pro class coming up shortly. I want to say shout out to the media sponsors, media partners as well. True Vision Group, as well as True For You, WorkPoint Entertainment Company Limited, and of course, Siam Sports Syndicate Public Holdings, all right? And got a shout out to Grand Prix International Company Limited. This is the building where I'm sitting here right now. One of the many wonderful automobilia memories that have gone down in history in Thailand has taken place from the brainchilds over at Grand Prix International. The motor shows, the wonderful reviews, the magazines that have been published over the years concerning automobiles and auto enthusiasts. And mentioning the publications, you also have EXO Autosports, which of course they handle the performance-oriented group. Me included. Okay, so up next we've got TSS Digital Racing Pro Class. So I guess we should stay tuned. Of course, I want to say that TSS Digital Racing is always been a privilege to mention that we are stemming from the Thailand Super Series event, which of course has been garnering the ASEAN region with the help of the Automobile Association of Thailand, RAAT. So we're about to get into the VTR, And we'll be right back after some of these messages from our wonderful sponsors. All right, folks, stay tuned. We'll be right back.
ความสำเร็จที่แท้จริงไม่จำเป็นต้องเดินบนเส้นทางแห่งชัยชนะเสมอไปตั้งเป้าหมายที่มุ่งหวังและไปให้ถึงทีละขั้นสิ่งนี้จะสร้างแรงบันดาลใจให้ก้าวไปสู่ข้างหน้าได้อย่างมั่นใจไปให้ถึงทุกจุดหมายท้าทายทุกความสำเร็จมุ่งมั่นกับทุกเส้นทางที่รออยู่ตรงหน้าเซ็งคอร์ปอเรชั่นผู้สนับสนุนหลักอย่างเป็นทางการทีม Alfa Romeo Racing
ไม่ต้องทำตัวเด่นแต่ก็ยากที่จะละสายตากล้าเผชิญหน้าทุกความท้าทายหนึ่งเดียวที่ผมเชื่อใจคำว่าดีที่สุดหยุดเขาไม่ได้ Fortuner Legender และ Fortuner 2.4 ใหม่สัญลักษณ์แห่งความสำเร็จ
เปลี่ยนน้ำมันเครื่องต้องที่บีควิกที่ไหนบีควิกทำไมแชร์โรบิลเกนเป็นกิโลเท่าไหร่เริ่มต้น690 บาททั้ง690 บาทแถมฟรีใจกลางฟรีค่าแรงคุ้มไหมคุ้มมากครบทุกบริการเรื่องรถที่บีควิกทั่วประเทศถึง31 ธันวาคมนี้
ใครบอกว่าการแข่งขันเริ่มต้นที่สัญญาณไฟเพราะสำหรับน้ำมันเครื่องอีเดมิสึมันเริ่มตั้งแต่คุณสตาร์ทด้วยสูตรใหม่อีเดมิสึเรซิ่งที่ช่วยให้เครื่องยนต์พร้อมอยู่ตลอดเวลาเพื่อสมรรถนะสูงสุดทุกจังหวะปกป้องเครื่องยนต์ทุกสภาวะยกระดับรถของคุณไปอีกขั้นอีเดมิสึผู้นำด้านน้ำมันเครื่องจากประเทศญี่ปุ่น
คุณคงคิดไม่ถึงว่ารังนกแท้ผสมคอลลาเจนกลูตาไทโอน Q10 และน้ำองุ่นขาวจะได้ Juiceness เครื่องดื่มเนื้อรังนกแท้ที่มิกซ์สิ่งดีๆลงตัวในขวดเดียว Juiceness
การดริฟท์คือชีวิตของผม ความฝันไม่ใช่แค่ชัยชนะในสนามใดสนามหนึ่งแต่เป้าหมายคือแชมป์ระดับโลกจุดหมายไม่ว่าจะอยู่ไกลเพียงใดทุกเส้นชัยต้องปลอดภัยจุดหมายคือความปลอดภัยอาเบกเน็กสเตอร์
ความสำเร็จที่แท้จริงไม่จำเป็นต้องเดินบนเส้นทางแห่งชัยชนะเสมอไปตั้งเป้าหมายที่มุ่งหวังและไปให้ถึงทีละขั้นสิ่งนี้จะสร้างแรงบันดาลใจให้ก้าวไปสู่ข้างหน้าได้อย่างมั่นใจไปให้ถึงทุกจุดหมายท้าทายทุกความสำเร็จมุ่งมั่นกับทุกเส้นทางที่รออยู่ตรงหน้าเซ็งคอร์ปอเรชั่นผู้สนับสนุนหลักอย่างเป็นทางการทีม Alfa Romeo Racing
ไม่ต้องทำตัวเด่นแต่ก็ยากที่จะละสายตากล้าเผชิญหน้าทุกความท้าทายหนึ่งเดียวที่ผมเชื่อใจคำว่าดีที่สุดหยุดเขาไม่ได้ Fortuner Legender และ Fortuner 2.4 ใหม่สัญลักษณ์แห่งความสำเร็จ
เปลี่ยนน้ำมันเครื่องต้องที่บีควิกที่ไหนบีควิกทำไมแชร์โมบิลเกนเป็นกิโลเท่าไหร่เริ่มต้น690 บาททั้ง690 บาทแถมฟรีใส่กล่องฟรีค่าแรงคุ้มไหมคุ้มมากครบทุกบริการเรื่องรถที่บีควิกทั่วประเทศถึง31 ธันวาคมนี้
ใครบอกว่าการแข่งขันเริ่มต้นที่สัญญาณไฟเพราะสำหรับน้ำมันเครื่องอีเดมิสึมันเริ่มตั้งแต่คุณสตาร์ทด้วยสูตรใหม่อีเดมิสึเรซิ่งที่ช่วยให้เครื่องยนต์พร้อมอยู่ตลอดเวลาเพื่อสมรรถนะสูงสุดทุกจังหวะปกป้องเครื่องยนต์ทุกสภาวะยกระดับรถของคุณไปอีกขั้นอิเดมิสึผู้นำด้านน้ำมันเครื่องจากประเทศญี่ปุ่น
คุณคงคิดไม่ถึงว่ารังนกแท้ผสมคอลลาเจนกลูตาไทโอน Q10 และน้ำองุ่นขาวจะได้ Juiceness เครื่องดื่มเนื้อรังนกแท้ที่มิกซ์สิ่งดีๆลงตัวในขวดเดียว Juiceness
การดิฟคือชีวิตของผม ความฝันไม่ใช่แค่ชัยชนะในสนามใดสนามหนึ่ง แต่เป้าหมายคือแชมป์ระดับโลก จุดหมายไม่ว่าจะอยู่ไกลเพียงใดทุกเส้นชัยต้องปลอดภัย จุดหมายคือความปลอดภัยอาเบกเน็กสเตอร์
ตายลืมใส่แว่นสัปดาห์นี้ของจริงผมโก้นะครับแล้วน้องตูนจะรับหน้าที่ภาคในรุ่นของ Amateur Class นะครับ
ซึ่งแชมป์ประจำรายการนะฮะจะได้รับเป็นถ้วยรางวัลเลยครับพี่โก้ครับ3 2 1มานี่ฮะซึ่งเขาเรียกว่าเป็นถ้วยรางวัลจาก TSS Digital Racing
สำหรับนักแข่งในรุ่น Amateur Class ทั้ง12คนครับ
ดูสุดยอด5 4 3 2 1มาเป็นไงฮะ
โอ้โห
นี่ฮะเป็นภาพสัญญาณ
ล็อกประตูก่อนนะครับเดี๋ยวแม่เข้ามากันนะเข้าสู่การแข่งขันเลยครับที่3 Autopolis ครับการแข่งขันในฮีทที่1รอบไฟนอล
แข่งทั้งหมด18รอบครับท่านผู้ชมครับมาดูจังหวะการออกตัวของผู้นำกันครับ
ดูครับดูแผนการขับของพิกาจู GT1 ยังไง
Alrighty folks we're back and back let's hear you me in the house that's right folks let's talk about some of the things that happened in AM class earlier on just a few minutes ago in case you weren't watching recap we've got a lot of racing going on from the earlier on last week. We had the AM class and pro class. We just recently finished the second race for AM class, and garnering the race winnings with. Let me check this out. Oh, well, what do you know? It was Boss 76 out of the Vatana group that won it again. There you go, score of a 10. And of course, driving his wonderful blue Aston Martin GT3 car. So I'm betting that a lot of those racers out there is going to play a lot of favorites on to the cars that they want to choose for their games next time. But anyway, congratulations for the folks out of Vatana for the win. Anyway, next up we've got the Pro Class. That's right, folks. Dun, 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 dun. This is going to be the highlight event of this evening. And this event, of course, will be a side shoot out of the Thailand Super Series network, which, of course, we are proud to present the digital racing and, of course, the new era of racing, thanks in part to the wonderful folks over at Polyphony and Gran Turismo. And, of course, with the wonderful support RAAT as well, and of course sponsorship as well. You know, folks over at Toyota, same. Be Quick, Apollo Oil, AF Racing, which you're about to see their Mustang going around the track, and of course JS Asia Beverage for the Bird's Nest drink. I tried it before; it's pretty good. Juice Nest, that's right. Ranix Global PTE with the Han Cook slapped on the side of the wheels for the signage and of course the sidewalls. Representing the stickiness on the track, as well as SCS Industries Nexter and Pano Revo digital displays. Thanks to our media partners from the True Vision Group, and of course True for You, WorkPoint and Entertainment, WorkPoint Entertainment Public Company Limited, Siam Sports Syndicate Public Company Limited, and of course, where would we be without Grand Prix? Grand Prix International Public Company Limited with the XO Autosports Magazine. That's right here, folks, where I'm sitting right now. Get ready to go. All right, let's check out the rosters, the readouts for the Pro Series. Let's move it on out. First on up, we should be taking a look at, who do we have here? Well, let's see. I think it should be, Natayot. Natayot, I think should be Natayot. Let's check it out. Rosters up, folks. Rosters up. Bring it on out. So all right, so the Mian GT1 PSC, folks, for the Lambo Huracan. Well, PSC, here we go. PSC Motorsports for Natayot got 10 points off the rack right there from the first race so far. Not bad. Racing his Huracan GT3. Then he won it fair and square up against the second guy from last time, which everybody was shooting for him. Santi Stuvik, Norwegian Thai. Hello, Sawadee Krabs. And of course, PSN, the number of Stuvik Racing Project. He has 8 points, and let's see how he does today. All right, racing for Be Quick Absolute Racing Team is Audi R8 LMS. Remember, he started racing since he was 4 years old, so let's see how all his experience is going to add up. International driver as well, Formula 3 champ for European F3 Open Championships as well. And the third, we've got Tana Tip. Tana Tip, of course, BMW Banks in Vatana Motorsports livery. Yeah, Vatana baby. Driving for a Lambo Huracan GT3. He has 6 points under his belt currently. Next up, we've got, who do we have next? I wonder. Tanapat. There you go. He's taking a chill, isn't he? Sawadee krap, Tanapat. Here you go, Tanapat. Tanapat going by Tan TE 71, 5 points under his belt for the 888 Car Wash and DC Garage. He's going to be piloting the Porsche 911 RSR. That's right, folks. 5th position, Tana Road. That's talking about Babe, YK BBR. 4 points under his belt for YK Motorsports. And BB Racing by Sunoco. Billionaire Boy Racing by Sunoco. Driving the Benz GT3 for pilot. Wonderful headphones right there. Like his headphones. All right, folks. Next up, who do we have in the house? We've got 6th position. Let's check out our next driver. I think he's driving for AAS Motorsports. Let's check where he is. Tasanapon. That's right. Here we go. AAS Motorsports in the background, as beautiful as can be, racing his wonderful Porsche 911 RSR. And of course, a direct relative of Kunde. Right there. 3 points under his belt, getting ready to race. He's suited up and ready to go. All right. Got all these sponsorships behind him as well. City Point Group, Mobile One. Wow, he's got everything under his sponsorship banner right there, including S-Cola. Huh. And 7th position, Ani Wad. ID number My DIY. my DIY racing for the Idemitsu group right there. Audi R8 LMS. Here you see, he's very proud of Idemitsu. And of course, Thailand Super Series right here. Glad to have him on board. Ani Wat will be in 7th position. Coming up, 8th position, Chanakan. Chanakan was a switch over from a teammate. So, he's racing for Alpha Factory Racing, Pulsar Racing right there, Porsche 911 RSR. Looks like we have a co-pilot in the house. Say Sawadee Cup co-pilot. I think that's his kid right there. So, Chanakan, peace out to you, buddy. Hope you do a great job with the switch over. 9th position. Okay. Tanat, Satien, Tirakun, LaRouche, Decimo. That's a strong name for Mongkon Motorsports. Decimo is probably going to decimate the rest of the field. You see on the side of his patch, on the side of his shoulders, Satien Tirakun right there. Tanat. Porsche 911 RSR driver. And driving over to a cool guy with Arto ribbon all over him. Yes, that's right, folks. Representing GR Supras, here we got Grit Vasurat. New driver today, codename Glarvas 69. Okay, Toyota Gazoo Racing, Team Thailand. And number 11, Carl Watanabe Bennett, codename Tag Cool Astro Tank 4. AF Racing, Ford Mustang, TAV8 Racing. Of course, son of Gregory Bennett, another veteran for the Thailand Super Series. And racing, of course, for AF Racing. And next up, who do we have for 12th position? Okay, check it out. Pulipat. We don't have a picture for Pulipat, but just to mention, he is also driving for Team PT Maxitron Motorsports. And the currently person you're seeing is not him. That was Carl right there. Jumping over to Kantasak Gusiri. Wow, professional Ferrari gear there. Yes, Gusiri. 1834. Tag name there for PSN number. Riding for Sing Motorsports Team Thailand. He'll be piloting the 458 Ferrari by the GT3. Italia GT3 Ferrari. Gotta love his headphones right there. Anyway, folks, there's also another driver also in the mix. I'd like to also mention that there was originally supposed to be another driver, which was number 14. But we have to mention it because originally he was on the roster, but due to a little bit of unfortunate events, Pasu Litapanlo would be here for today's race, but he will be for the next weekend. So let's check out the next weekend race for that as well. Anyway, check it over for some of the details we have. A beautiful glorified shot of what looks like to be a Ferrari. Of course that's a Ferrari, but that's not the point of this shot. The shot point is all the livery, all the signage, even the sidewall livery is posted on right there. Han Cook being prominently displayed, as well as Sing, and of course members of most of our sponsors as well. So don't forget, folks, the signage has been implemented to the best of possibility. And of course, I'd like to also say that the track that we're running on right now, still in Spain, the islands of Spain, out in Catalunya, it's got a lot of corners. And by that, I mean, basically, like I said earlier on, the Autopolis track earlier on last week, they had a technical course, a lot of not high-speed corners, whereas this one, you're going in for the high-speed kill. But then again, there is a trade-off, because if you attack a corner at high speeds, think about it. You're going through the corners, high speed. And if you make a mistake on your driving line, that spells disaster. And nobody wants a disaster on this race or any other race if you're trying to gather as many points for the championship. This being said, the Thailand Super Series digital race, which is going to last until the end of July. We got, 2 more races after this, of course, for both AM class and Pro class. They will be the races to figure out who's going to be the champ of the digital series. And like I said earlier on, this is a digital offshoot of Thailand Super Series, one of the revered and veteran race series held in the ASEAN region. Of course, overseen by the wonderful folks over at the RAAT, which is the automobile governing body in Thailand. And of course, with that said and done, we also have the marshals next door to keep an eye out for all those folks out there who do make a mistake on the track, just to make sure that it's a fair game. I don't want to say that it's a simulator and, you know, anything can happen, anything can go on without the keen eye of the marshals. That is not true. All right, that is not true. You want to have a fair game, and of course, marshals are on standby to watch. We even saw in the AM class earlier on, there were points, well, not points, but more like time added onto the final, the final results. But even that was the case, Steve Nash still came in third, so that ain't bad, right? If you do make a big whoopsie or doozy, obviously that's not you're gonna rack up more penalties, and you don't want that to happen. All right, so back again over at information for the stickers. Like I said earlier on, they're pretty much done with a high detail that goes on for realism. So talk about the telemetry of the cars, pretty much as close as possible to the best that physics can offer in terms of digital racing. The folks over at Polyphony did a wonderful job, not only in terms of the graphic works and all those polygon counts, but I mean, how the car handles in terms of what tire is being used, how hard you go into a corner, or late braking, trail braking, all those things taken into account, including the slipstream. So aerodynamic also plays a very important part of the game. Okay, so other than that, of course, the other things that has a major part in the game, of course, is the tire choice. And of course, you don't want to go into a race without picking the right tires. But get this, folks. You pick the right tire, let's just say, for a technical course like this, well, not a technical course, but a high-speed corner course, you can probably get away with a medium tire or soft, right? But, I mean, there is a wear rate that has been bumped up, let's just say exaggerated, to the point where it makes it really hard for the drivers to continue driving flat out, let's just say, because you would only risk losing control of your car if you drive out flat out. And let's just say 18 laps around the track here at Catalunya. You don't want to lose your traction down by lap 5. That's too early. Too soon! Too soon, Junior. I wonder if anybody knows where I took that one from. But, yeah. Midway through the race, that's where you want to pit in at your latest. Because what's the point of pitting in after that? I mean, what? You made a bad call on how much fuel you're going to put in? Oh, and that's the other thing. With the fuel usage, the sip rate is exaggerated 3 times the normal fuel consumption in the game, which means that the staff here and the officials had deemed it the rules and regulations for this race, for the pro race, to have 3 times the fuel consumption for the 18 laps around, and to make it fair and square for everybody else. Just to make it seem a little more realistic. More pressure. Not like these guys don't have any pressure. They want to make a good name for themselves and for their team sponsors. It probably might reflect into the real race later on. And like I said, you never want to race without having good sportsmanship, because that is one of the things that sponsorships actually look into. And they really take it seriously, because you can have a newbie race around, right, and not be very sportsmanship-like. You might be a bully on the track. So what happens when you want to go racing for real? They're not going to sponsor you, right? So let's check out some of the shots of the people that we have up for the pro race today. Let's check it out, folks. Who do we have once again? Let's check out the big picture. Thailand Super Series, TSS Digital Racing, taking into the pro class. 14 drivers, best of the best right here for week 2. Chris Vasuratana. Glass 69. Kusuri 1834. Kantasak. Sandy Stuvik student racing project. I'll be in his Be Quick Audi. And Ani Watt. Also for the R8 LMS. Ford Mustang. We got Carl Watanabe Bennett for AF Racing. Keep an eye out for you. Cool Astro Tank 4. Got some Lambo fans out there for the Huracan GT3, folks. PSC Motorsports in the house. Natayot. And also for the Porsche 911 driver, we got Tassanapon. Porsche usually deals with the AAS Motorsports, so they are here in the house to represent as well. Pasulita Panlop, also driving closely behind him, Porsche 911 RSR. Mercedes-Benz representing. Babe YK BBR. Tanarod. YK Motorsports Billionaire Boy Racing by Sunoco. Of course, Larodecimo. Tanat, Hintirakun, Mangkon Motorsports. And Vatana's team member, Tana Tim, in the house. Very confident driver, as well as Chanakan, driving Alpha Factory Racing Team by Polzar. Porsche 911 RSR in the mix for the next two drivers as well. For Pirapot, PT Maxitron Motorsports, and also for Tanapat, AAA Car Wash, and DC Garage. I want to say a shout out to all our sponsors as well while we're still on the page of all the drivers out here for pro drivers. Shout out to our sponsors once again, Toyota. Thank you so much for giving us a lot of support throughout the years just for the racing. And of course, gotta say thank you to our Sing sponsors as well as Be Quick and AF Racing, Apollo Oil, and JS Asia Bird Nest as well. But enough about me. Let's check on out for words from our sponsors, shall we? See you around. I'll be right back.
ไม่จำเป็นต้องเดินบนเส้นทางแห่งชัยชนะเสมอไปตั้งเป้าหมายที่มุ่งหวังและไปให้ถึงทีละขั้นสิ่งนี้จะสร้างแรงบันดาลใจให้ก้าวไปสู่ข้างหน้าได้อย่างมั่นใจไปให้ถึงทุกจุดหมายท้าทายทุกความสำเร็จมุ่งมั่นกับทุกเส้นทางที่รออยู่ตรงหน้าสิงห์คอร์ปอเรชั่นผู้สนับสนุนหลักอย่างเป็นทางการทีม Alfa Romeo Racing
ไม่ต้องทำตัวเด่นแต่ก็ยากที่จะละสายตากล้าเผชิญหน้าทุกความท้าทายหนึ่งเดียวที่ผมเชื่อใจคำว่าดีที่สุดหยุดเขาไม่ได้ Fortuner Legender และ Fortuner 2.4 ใหม่สัญลักษณ์แห่งความสำเร็จ
เปลี่ยนน้ำมันเครื่องต้องที่บีควิกที่ไหนบีควิกทำไมแชร์โมบิลเกนเป็นกิโลเท่าไหร่เริ่มต้น690 บาททั้ง690 บาทแถมฟรีใส่กล่องฟรีค่าแรงคุ้มไหมคุ้มมากครบทุกบริการเรื่องรถที่บีควิกทั่วประเทศถึง31 ธันวาคมนี้
ใครบอกว่าการแข่งขันเริ่มต้นที่สัญญาณไฟเพราะสำหรับน้ำมันเครื่องอีเดมิสึมันเริ่มตั้งแต่คุณสตาร์ทด้วยสูตรใหม่อีเดมิสึเรซซิ่งที่ช่วยให้เครื่องยนต์พร้อมอยู่ตลอดเวลาเพื่อสมรรถนะสูงสุดทุกจังหวะปกป้องเครื่องยนต์ทุกสภาวะยกระดับรถของคุณไปอีกขั้นอีเดมิสึผู้นำด้านน้ำมันเครื่องจากประเทศญี่ปุ่น
คุณคงคิดไม่ถึงว่ารังนกแท้ผสมคอลลาเจนกลูตาไทโอน Q10 และน้ำองุ่นขาวจะได้ Juiceness เครื่องดื่มเนื้อรังนกแท้ที่มิกซ์สิ่งดีๆลงตัวในขวดเดียว Juiceness
การดิฟคือชีวิตของผมความฝันไม่ใช่แค่ชัยชนะในสนามใดสนามหนึ่ง แต่เป้าหมายคือแชมป์ระดับโลกจุดหมายไม่ว่าจะอยู่ไกลเพียงใดทุกเส้นชัยต้องปลอดภัยจุดหมายคือความปลอดภัยอาเบกเน็กสเตอร์
ความสำเร็จที่แท้จริงไม่จำเป็นต้องเดินบนเส้นทางแห่งชัยชนะเสมอไปตั้งเป้าหมายที่มุ่งหวังและไปให้ถึงทีละขั้นสิ่งนี้จะสร้างแรงบันดาลใจให้ก้าวไปสู่ข้างหน้าได้อย่างมั่นใจไปให้ถึงทุกจุดหมายท้าทายทุกความสำเร็จมุ่งมั่นกับทุกเส้นทางที่รออยู่ตรงหน้าสิงห์คอร์ปอเรชั่นผู้สนับสนุนหลักอย่างเป็นทางการทีม Alfa Romeo Racing
ไม่ต้องทำตัวเด่นแต่ก็ยากที่จะละสายตา กล้าเผชิญหน้าทุกความท้าทายหนึ่งเดียวที่ผมเชื่อใจคำว่าดีที่สุดหยุดเขาไม่ได้ Fortuner Legender และ Fortuner 2.4 ใหม่สัญลักษณ์แห่งความสำเร็จ
เปลี่ยนน้ำมันเครื่องต้องที่บีควิกที่ไหนบีควิกทำไมแชร์โมบิลเกนเป็นกิโลเท่าไหร่เริ่มต้น690 บาททั้ง690 บาทแถมฟรีจ่ายกล่องฟรีค่าแรงคุ้มไหมคุ้มมากครบทุกบริการเรื่องรถที่บีควิกทั่วประเทศถึง31 ธันวาคมนี้
ใครบอกว่าการแข่งขันเริ่มต้นที่สัญญาณไฟเพราะสำหรับน้ำมันเครื่องอีเดมิสึมันเริ่มตั้งแต่คุณสตาร์ทด้วยสูตรใหม่อีเดมิสึเรซิ่งที่ช่วยให้เครื่องยนต์พร้อมอยู่ตลอดเวลาเพื่อสมรรถนะสูงสุดทุกจังหวะปกป้องเครื่องยนต์ทุกสภาวะยกระดับรถของคุณไปอีกขั้นอีเดมิสึผู้นำด้านน้ำมันเครื่องจากประเทศญี่ปุ่น
คุณคงคิดไม่ถึงว่ารังนกแท้ผสมคอลลาเจนกลูตาไทโอน Q10 และน้ำองุ่นขาวจะได้ Juiceness เครื่องดื่มเนื้อรังนกแท้ที่มิกซ์สิ่งดีๆลงตัวในขวดเดียว Juiceness
การดิฟคือชีวิตของผมความฝันไม่ใช่แค่ชัยชนะในสนามใดสนามหนึ่งแต่เป้าหมายคือแชมป์ระดับโลกจุดหมายไม่ว่าจะอยู่ไกลเพียงใดทุกเส้นชัยต้องปลอดภัยจุดหมายคือความปลอดภัยอาเบกเน็กสเตอร์
And Sawadee Krap, everybody, and welcome back to the second installment of today's highlights. That's right, folks. The main event is about to take place right here down by the great place of... Oh, what do we call this place? Well, we're gonna call it TSS. That's right, folks. TSS, Thailand Super Series Digital, the new place to be. That's right, folks. If you're in the realm of digital racing, this is the place to test your skills as a driver and an aspiring, I bit my tongue a bit, an aspiring driver as well. Rising stars or veteran drivers alike, they are in this race. That's right, folks. Don't forget, folks, if you want to catch up on some of the great stuff being shared around, because if you share, we share. That's right. If you like, we like. And of course, if you share or like, we're going to give you some gifts and prizes. That's right. Be prepared for some totally out of the blue gifts and giveaways. All you got to do is head on over to Thailand Super Series or TSS Facebook page. And of course, like and share. And of course, we'll give out prizes. Totally cool. Totally cool. Some of the prizes, of course, might include stuff from Idemitsu, one of the great guys out there sponsoring our whole shebang. Nexter as well. Things like, hats, masks, shirts, whatnot, and so forth. And don't forget, you've also got the great giveaway for the half cockpit. I gotta say, the half cockpit giveaway is gonna be amazing. After the fourth race, that's like the last weekend for July 2020. That's right, there's gonna be a big giveaway from the good folks over at SS Cockpit. They're gonna give away what cockpit, you ask? The half cockpit LRS SS series. You wanna see what that looks like? Head on over to their website over at sscockpit.com or check us out on the Facebook page of Thailand Super Series. That is one serious rig, I'm telling you. And when you take a look at some of the rigs that these racers have been taking control of their cars, you know you have to have a good rig. All right, folks. So let's get ready to rumble and get ready to start the race, okay? But first, let's check out some of the cars out here on track. Thailand Super Series, TSS Digital Racing, a new era of driving. Check out the drivers here. Everybody in their positions. Got folks over at the all walks of life right here. Oh, in pit row. Now that usually would not happen in real life. Wow, that's something I haven't seen before. But since this is out for qualification times, being the fact that everybody should have their own driving line, and don't have to worry too much about the collision effects. I guess that's what happened when the pit row couldn't compute and decided to just bunch up the drivers there. But what these drivers are aiming for is a good time, and that would give them the position they need on the final countdown before the race begins for the pro class. Here's a shot of a Tan TE 888 car wash in the wonderful Porsche right there, 10th so far. PSE the Miang GT1. I love that color. I love that car. I love the livery too. Followed right behind from the Tan T 888 car wash. That's right, the Porsche. But then again, I also like to say a shout out to the sponsors, because you see sponsors splattered all over the cars right here. But some of these sponsors aren't seen yet, and some of the sponsors are Toyota, Sing, Be Quick, Apollo Oil Thailand, Motor Oil, AF Racing Company Limited, JS Asia Beverage Company Limited, Juice Nest, Rainix, Global PTE Limited, or the folks over at Hankook, which you see prominently displayed on the sidewalls of these tires. Of course, the tires are going super fast. You won't be able to read them. That's why you have me telling you what's on the sidewalls. Triton Nexter is Lambo out of Vatana. Iconic color from Vatana. Matte black, or should I say satin black. Yeah. But so far, he is numero uno. Position 1. BMW Banks. That's right, babe. A YK BBR in second in the Mercedes. Driving around, moseying on along, everybody having their optimal driving line. We're talking about sprints here because everybody's trying to gather as much experience and also try to lower their time. So let's just say, for example, they get a good time on lap 1, right? Then lap 2 comes along, they screwed up a bit. Well, that's okay because lap 1 they got a good time, so they're already in the house, right? But what happens if you don't get a good time for like the first 3 or 4 laps and the time remaining is what, 2 minutes and 13 seconds? They gotta pick it up. They gotta do whatever it takes. So with not a lot of time given out from the get-go, start of qualifying round, they probably have to do their best right out of the gate from pit road. So the first time around always is a warm-up lap. Look what happens when you go over the edge of the track. You get a penalty. The penalty results in a slowdown or time added on. And that's no good because, that only pulls you back to the back of the field. During launch, a shot here from Stoic Racing Project. Last time he came around second position, and he lost to second position only because he decided to put a little more fuel into his fuel tank in the last race, causing him to not come out of pit road in time. And mistakes like that will be dealt with accordingly, because then you just run the risk of not making the lap in time and getting the position you want. So everybody's got to play that game. Balance. You come into the pit row, you decide right there and then how much fuel you're going to put in. And don't forget there's going to be an exaggerated amount of fuel being used, And same thing with the tires. So, for example, the tire wear is 5 times the wear. Oh, here's a shot of the T8 V8. I'm told that it's not called TA Racing anymore. It's TA V8. Tongue twister right there for you. And we got Bennett there driving, making his dad proud. Carl, go Carl. Anyway, here's a shot of the Super driver, the GR Wazoo Racing Supra, in 7th currently. Glarva 69. Look at the way he's got the hand on the handle. Perfect driving position on the steering wheel as well. Here in control for the Ferrari Gussiri 1834. Oh, gotta be careful. Wasn't sure if he went over the line or not, but let's wait for the marshals to see and say. Pulsar, folks. Tabu 36, currently in 10th position, driving for Pulsar Factory. Right behind him, following in 4th position, but behind Tabu. Oh, he's driving pretty strict there. Porsche. 2 Porsches up against each other. Oh, take a little swerve. Here's the final lap for you, the final countdown. It's now or never. And he's driving with his, I think it's son right next to him. Looks like he's exhausted already. Oh, take it easy. But I'm sure he's going to be racing with confidence, especially with his son next to him, making his a proud moment. And all you got to do is finish the race in the best time that you can. Vatana, BMW Banks, looks like getting first there, but we'll wait to see for the official. And folks, this is TSS Racing Pro Class, not AM Class, Pro Class. Once again, there's a signage issue on the top of the screen, so there we go, TSS Racing Pro Class. Okay, so once this is finished, which I think it is, everybody's taking their breath, even wiping their foreheads. Wow, was it that grueling? They should be happy with the situation and the positions. Now we're getting ready for the race to begin. Let's say shout out to Sing and Juice Nest for giving me a lot of this beverage here on the side. Wet my whistle. As well as a shout out to RAAT, R-A-A-T. And of course, can't forget the good old folks over at Be Quick, Eden Mitsu, AF Racing, Hankook, and Toyota. As a shot of a beautiful Toyota there for you. GR Toyota. Kazoo Racing, folks. In the past, Toyota has been trying to pick up their game in terms of getting the enthusiasm back into driving, to feel the drive. And I think with that Kazoo Racing, it's doing a pretty good job. Anyway, race about to begin, folks. TSS Pro class about to take over. We got 11 drivers on the track. Of course, earlier on I did mention that there's going to be 12, but because of unforeseen circumstances, one of the drivers could not attend. And that's no problem because, you know, it's still an ongoing contest. And he will appear later on, I guess. Vatana, BMW Banks, getting off on the grid. Stuvik right behind, second place. Babe YK BBR in third. And 3, 2, 1, we're off, folks. This is the race. Second race for a pro class on the 11th of July, 2020, making another mark on the calendar for a wonderful debut of digital racing. Oh, a little bit of a slip up right there. Already on the first lap out. Watana's BMW Banks, I guess, didn't warm up his tires yet. So you got to be careful. Everybody's got to pay close attention to their car performance. If you feel that the car is swerving and wiggling all over the place, it means the tires haven't been warmed up enough. At least that would have been the case for a real situation. But man, oh man, Stuvik Racing Project picking up the speed. Look at the gap between Stuvik up against BBR's Babe YK third position and spreading that gap. Meanwhile, third and fourth battling it out. Turn up against Babe, trying to go for third position. Tom T, AAA Car Wash, just taking a fifth position back seat there. But gotta be careful. DIY last race made his own DIY strips around the track, swirling and squiggling all over. So that's him. My DIY, 6th place. Idemitsu representing. Also one of the wonderful sponsors here for Thailand Super Series, TSS Digital Racing. Era of racing. Pro class, folks. Look how pro you can go. The Ferrari Cool Series 1834. In all of the Ferrari attire, the Ferrari headgear. I'm betting that's probably a Ferrari official product as well in terms of the control cockpit. I don't know if about you, but I seem to be seeing some glitches happen on the screen, but that's normal, like I said. Over the time of a lot of polygons being concentrated onto the screen, a lot of telemetry being factored in. Here's a shot of cool Astro Tank. Carl trying to fend off the GR Supra. Uh-oh, looks like we got some heat going on. GR Supra is swerving in and out, trying to psych out the TAV8 machine. Couldn't make it through, not yet, not yet. Glarva 69. GR Supra, let's see where he's gonna attack. Meanwhile, the Pulsar Porsche right behind him. This is what happens when you're trying to attack a car in front and you lose your momentum. The car behind you is gonna chomp up right behind. Then you're gonna lose your position. So these drivers gotta focus. If you're going for it, you better make sure you pass, otherwise you lose that chance. Meanwhile, check out who's numero uno. Watana is not number one anymore. BMW Banks dropped it down to second position, and the Audi from Stuvik Racing Project is in the lead, a car length away. Watching that Lambo just cut across. And it looks like from behind in position 5, if I'm not mistaken, going on a little too wide for some of these cars. Oh, a little bit of a one-hand driver there, Babe YK DDR. Something in his eye, I wasn't sure if it's debris from the track or not. It can't be, it's a virtual drive. But these guys gotta be focused no matter what. So whatever's in his eye, I hope it's out there. Talking about eyes, I saw him touching his eyes. One of the things that put us in this position over half of the year for 2020 was that virus, that dreaded global virus. So, once again, let's try not to touch our faces, shall we? Anyway, Tan T, AAA Car Wash, running smooth and dandy in the Porsche. 4th and 5th. Porsche's representing. Slowing down now, being given a penalty. 0.4 of a second. already in 5th position and given a penalty. That's a no-go. That's a no-go. Finally, a shot from inside the cockpit. We can see some of the things that the drivers actually see on the track. And I'm not talking about the gloves. I'm talking about the information on the steering wheel. You see those blinkety lights? That's right. That's the rev meter. When it gets to red, you should change your gears. Otherwise, you risk blowing an engine. Or, of course, giving you the optimal power band. You want to keep it in the optimal power band. So, for example, if you go through a corner like this, right, and your engine power drops down to somewhere in the greens, that means you're not keeping the rev limiter up where it should be. I mean, the maximum power, right? You don't want to ever drop power. That's a no-no. Driving right behind Babe YK, BBR, trying to use the slipstream, but looks like BBR is getting away. Babe making a run for it. Tan T, AAA Car Wash, finding it a little bit hard for him to keep up with 2.6 seconds away. Oh, going on the inside, dive bomb. Not enough momentum. No, not yet. The Mercedes up front, keeping him at bay, 4th position. The crew behind him. The Porsche in 4th and 5th, still behind Mercedes. Tanti, AAA Car Wash, and turn. Turn also with a penalty right there, so he's not going to be seeing his way, in front as soon as possible. And look what I just said, he's on the inside lane now. Oh, that was unexpected. I would think that, you're given a slowdown, maybe you should slow down. But with a penalty, he decided to jump up in front of Tan TTE. Tan TE, and against his slowdown penalty, was able to move up. But I'm not too sure of how long he's going to be there for. The penalty is still in effect. Now, Babe YK BBR also getting a 0.5 second of a penalty. And you notice he's going a little bit too wide, kicking him up with the dust on the track. Well, actually, it's from off the track. That's where you don't want to be. Well, not that sure, but it seems like he's a little bit squiggly out of the corner. So you want to be as smooth as possible. Looks like he has having some issues driving that car. Even looking back and talk to teammates. The AAS driver right there also in calm conditions. Here we are. Oh, on the inside lane. Tom making another pass right there. On the inside, takes 3rd position. Easy. Here's an action replay for you. Diving into the inside, almost pushing out 4th position, who had earlier on had a penalty. So I guess he's back where he rightfully should be, but let's wait for the officials to give a little more of a decision on that. But I like his guts. It was a gutsy move. Gutsy move, nonetheless. My DIY, having a little bit of a tussle up against Gusiri. The Ferrari up against the Audi. Oh, looks like a slide. Yes, it was. My DIY sliding his way around because not enough space was given. Gusiri taking charge in 6th position, now going extra wide. Gusiri, 1834, gotta be careful there. Oh, we got a thumb in the shot of the driver's seat there. Okay, here we go. Even though this is a game, scrutiners and, the marshals are very serious. Any amount of horseplay on the track there would be frowned upon. And penalties are given left and right with reason. So, they're not to be taken lightly here. Oh, look at that. What happened right there? Glitching right through the ghost car. Babe YK, BBR. It seems like the Porsche from Tanti AAA Car Wash is fast enough to go through the Mercedes-Benz. And I think doing that in real life would result in a bump and grind. We're not talking about the little taps on the bumpers here. We're talking about going right through the rear end there. That's not good. Tanti, AAA Car Wash, 6.3 seconds away from the main leader, out by Stubik Racing Project. We are already 6 laps in. Oh, trying to go for another dive bomb, and again, jumping, just skewering him. Babe YK BBR trying to make a quick getaway right now, trying not to be slaughtered by Tanti AAA Car Wash. This guy is amazing. He's trying to push it right through. That Porsche is not giving up. No siree. Meanwhile, shot out in front, Stubik Racing Project going pretty smooth. Not looking that worried from the back. And look at his driving right here. Actually, him in the cockpit looks really, really composed, focused. The Be Quick folks couldn't be happier at this moment seeing Stubik piloting the Audi in front. Meanwhile, Vatana's driver, BMW Banks, I mean, everything just matches for this guy. Black, dark satin black colors. It just gives a very menacing look for anybody looking into the rearview mirror. Anyway, Gusiri now in 4th position, 1834 call sign, trying to play catch up with BBR, Babe YK in 3rd position, the Mercedes. Mercedes goes extra wide. Ferrari for the Sing. Gusiri, of course, a veteran driver, piloting many of the real racing cars through the years over at Thailand Super Series. Now showing what he's got in terms of digital racing. There is a whole new ball game of tactics involved. First of all, these guys don't even have to worry about debris on track. I mean, you still see debris on track, like the little bits of tire chunks on the edges of the track, as you can see here. But it doesn't, I'm not too sure if it actually takes into effect on the performance of the cars if they actually do make contact with the tires. The other aspect is, of course, the lack of safety crew, because that has been foregone, and the computer actually takes over in terms of, okay, you might have bumped him, but there's no damage to be seen or visually seen. Okay, coming into pits, YK, BBR. Off goes the tires, and like I said, like in the simulator, this would be the optimal way to fuel up and tire change. Hotel Labris right here, and they're out. Filled up to 53, 75. So some of these, 75 on the fuel tank. Was it enough for him to come out in front of AF Racing? No! AF Racing takes it up, coming in at 8th position. So Carl's up in front in 8th position. Stubik Racing should be coming in shortly for a pit stop. And he's got some pressure from the back. Right behind him, he can see Vatana's BMW Banks in the Lambo tailing him like a shadow. Even though that shadow's got quite a distance behind to catch up. We're talking about 1.74 of a distance in terms of seconds, and that's a lot. So basically, Stubik Racing Project, the Norwegian and Thai driver, the only reason why I say that is because he's half of each. He's been racing since he was 4 years old. Daddy-O probably put him in the racing seat, and he says probably, I love it. I love the feeling. I mean, you would have to love the feeling if you keep on racing to this day and age, and even trying all venues of racing in terms of kart or even the digital race. So everything can be an experience. Everything can be let's just say, flight time. And from last time, he did mention that he made a mistake adding too much fuel into the fuel tank, causing him to come out of the pit row quite late and giving him a second position. And therefore, 10 points was not his for him to have in the first race, which was last week. But now it looks like Stubik is having a grand time. Meanwhile, Gusiri inching up closer and closer. At least he's in, oh, what's happening with him? At least he's in the top 3, but looks like, I'm not sure if it was a glitch or if it was his car actually sliding into a corner. Out in Catalunya in Spain here. Gusiri is not a stranger to racing in international racetracks, on international racetracks, but we're having an international venue right here, thanks to the good old folks over at Polyphony for having such a wonderful layout. They probably scanned the track down to the itty-bitty details. It would be wonderful to see a harder track. You know what the hardest track in this game is, right? It would be the Nürburgring, Green Hell. Anyway, oh, Tan T, AAA car wash, went over the rumble strip, caused his tires to hook up just a little bit late before going into a corner. Almost a spin out there. Meanwhile, like I said, Stubik was supposed to be in pits, and he does come in. Vatana makes it into first position. Uh-oh, the positions have changed. Wasn't sure if it was a mistake once again, or Vatana decided to make it a gamble on how much fuel he's going to put in. And to me, I think that B&W Banks didn't put a lot of fuel into it, try to come out in front of Stubik, which he did. Because everybody knew from that interview that Stubik gave earlier on that he did put a little bit too much fuel. So everybody knew that he's not going to do the same thing all over again. Oh! Getting a little bit twitchy right there. They say that the mid-engine layout, right, MR layout, is one of the best layout you can have for racing. Everything's like solid in the middle, and the weight distribution, everything's just perfect. But still, if you don't be careful and you apply too much speed or even too much acceleration out of a corner, you're gonna land yourself into the grass, the gravel, or even worse yet, a wall. Thankfully, none of that has ever happened yet, to my knowledge, in terms of the digital races. You know, I've seen a lot of racers who started out playing this game, and the first thing they did was feel the physics of the car, how they react. So purposely they would try the grass, try the gravel, you know, try going into the corners as fast as they could and see if it's realistic enough. And some of the drivers actually told me that, yeah, it is realistic. I mean, you go into the grass, that is to be expected. You slip up, especially when you're one side on the grass. Lero Decimo decimated the pit row right there. 1, 2, 3, he's out. I can't even count 1, 2, 3 fast enough, and he's already out. Okie dokie. Lero Decimo in 8th position. Got 24 seconds before he picks it up. With Vatana, B&W Banks in the lead still. Stubik in 2nd. Tanti, AAA Car Wash in 3rd. Term in 6th. Whoa, what happened to 4th there? I was wondering. Okay, 4th is Babe YKBBR. Wow, look at that. And it's just a beautiful shape. Lamborghinis, the poster cars of the 80s, 90s, heck, of the future. Tanti, AAA Car Wash, gotta be careful, keep it on the track. Going extra wide is not good. I mean, you can use the width of the track, but if you overuse it, then the marshals will deduct points or even give you extra time. And by that I mean take time off from where you should be. You don't want to do that. By the way, folks, if you want to Stay tuned for what's to come down by Thailand Super Series Digital Race, or even the real races down by Bonsan or Buriram. Those are the real races where they happen. You can feel the real rumble of the cars. Don't forget to check out the information down by Thailand Super Series Facebook page. We'll get all the tidbits, hot press releases, and of course maybe interviews of some of the drivers and experiences through the times here of racing, especially the feedback from the racers during the Thailand Super Series Digital Race. Here's a shot of Kusiri 1834 pushing his Ferrari, splattered with Singh all over, as his team in the Singh corner drives around 5th position. Got a way to catch up to Babe YK BBR, but you saw him in the shot right there, so it's not impossible for them to catch up. This race out in Catalunya is different from Autopolis, because out in Autopolis you saw that the technical course with the low speed corners, not high speed corners, caused everybody to bunch up, and by doing that it created an exciting round for all the drivers, because they were trying to get bumper to bumper and trying to pass as much as possible. Whereas here in Catalunya, in Spain, the layout of the track is making everybody go flat out, and that causing everybody to have sort of a gap between each of the cars. So less chance of side by side, or even 3 into a corner, which is something that you never want to have on the track, by the way, going 3 into a corner, because sooner or later somebody's going to have to back off. You don't want to squeeze everybody off the track either. A shot of my DIY earlier on, Team Idemitsu right here, earlier on was squiggling his Audi around and about. My DIY. First race off the bat, digital race on the last Saturday. He was making tread marks on the track. Here's a shot of cool Astro Tank. Well, that car is a beauty to watch. AF Racing, and of course, in the beautiful livery and colors of AF Racing, I believe it is the purple color, adorned on the Mustang TA V8 machine. And if you want to catch a glimpse of that car, that actual car or livery in the track or on the tracks, check us out down by Bonsan, or later on in the end of October, you'll see it probably at Chan or Buriram. The Rodecimo, trying to pick up the pace, looking ahead, seeing nobody up in front of him. Not too much of a hope there for him, but he's not giving up. Because if he does, then he's going to let Glarvas take a chomp out of him right behind. There you see. That Supra is going to be searching it there, hunting down the Supra. Aside from using the wide track and using the tire choice, which of course has an exaggerated wear rate of 5 times the wear, though these drivers are nearing the 13th or 14th lap out of 18. At this point, they should already be very comfortable, but at the borderline of about to lose traction. And talk about lose traction, there you go. A shot of jumping the corners or the rumble strips, causing the tires to lose contact patch. The fastest way around a track, obviously, is to be as smooth as possible. And when you lose traction on the track, either on the left or the right wheel, that means the other wheel is compensating for it just through the laws of physics. You're spinning one side faster than the other. It's going to be like a tank, like a Panzer, you know, or an Abrams, or whatever tank you've known before. So one side of the car is pulling more than the other. What does that say? That says the car is about to be eating the wall or losing it out in gravel. The Triton here from Vatana, trying not to go through corners as much as possible. I noticed one thing though, the Lamborghini doesn't seem to be jumping across the track. I'm not sure if it's because he's not using the wheels to actually go over the rumble strips. If you notice, when he goes across the S corners over there, the middle portion of the car is on the rumble strip. Maybe he's gaining some extra advantage there using that. But anyway, still a big racing project. Is he going to go for 10 points for this track or hang out at 8 points? He doesn't want to go for 8 because he had 8 last time. He wants to shoot for a 10, and the only way to do that is if he picks up 1.7 seconds in the pace here. Either that or try to imagine himself pick his way through the field, imaginary field of 4 cars up ahead of him, just to be safe. Stupid Racing Project. The Thai-Norwegian driver with many years of driving experience since the age of 4, representing Be Quick, one of our great sponsors for the series, by the way. And talking about sponsors, I'd like to give a shout out to Sing, and you see the shot of the Sing car right there as well, the Ferrari. Sing, and also Toyota Thailand, Be Quick, Apollo Oil Thailand, Idemitsu Motor Oils, AF Racing, JS Asia Beverage, Bird's Nest, Juice Nest, Rainix Global PTE Limited out of Hankook Tires, and SCS Industries, folks over at Nexter. Okay, folks, finally we got some side-by-side action. Well, it was almost side-by-side. Tan T, Triple Eight Car Wash. Will he go for the grab up against Babe YK BBR? The Mercedes getting bumped from the back, or tapped from the back, and now looking in for a little bit of a party there. Gusiri in the Ferrari in 5th position. 3, 4, 5 trying for a 3rd position. If anybody up there makes a mistake, it's going to be no-go, and Gusiri might have a chance to go up. But in the meantime, Tan T, Triple A Car Wash. The momentum was there. The driver up in 3rd position, Babe YK, held it in on his own. The Mercedes held it out pretty well. Now look at that strip line. Oh, diving in on the inside. Not enough speed to pick it up. 10T, Triple Eight Car Wash now made a mistake because of that goosery. 1834 about to be a pouncer up for 4th position. Look at that, folks. Triple through and gone. Man, oh man, the Ferrari drives it hard up against, and now aiming up for the 3rd position up against Babe YK BBR. Who will it be? Gusiri up for a challenge, and it looks like Singh's trying to make the shot right here. Oh no, but the Porsche drives it in hard like a screwdriver up against the side of Gusiri, taking back the coveted position right here earlier on. So Gusiri had that momentum going, lost it possibly in a gutsy move. Babe YK BBR, wowzers. Gotta hold it in because he's up against a lot of competition, up against Tan T, Triple Eight Car Wash. Oh, side by side, will it be Tan T, Triple Eight? No siree. Crossover, X crossover coming in. Meanwhile, side by side through the S's. Oh my goodness, takes number 3. Oh yeah, baby. Now this is, folks, what I'm looking for. This is what I'm looking for. Finally, Catalunya. 2nd race for pro class. I was looking for some side-by-side action. Earlier on, I did mention that side-by-side action was a little bit hard to go by because this is a high-speed track. Even the corners, you can take these corners at high speed. But guess what? Took my breath away. Lap number 16, now into 17. We saw some amazing action and passing down by 10T Triple Eight Car Wash and Babe YK BBR and Gusiri. It was a tussle, and right now Gusiri, let's hope for him to try to go up against Babe YK BBR. Oh, hard braking. The Mercedes suddenly slammed the brakes hard. Either that or the Ferrari didn't brake at all, went straight into his back there. Gotta be careful. Don't want to go into understeer. and because of some of the mistakes, either from the car in 4th position, wasn't sure if he was brake, but I didn't see the brake light come on for Babe YK BBR. Maybe it was an issue where the Ferrari just accelerated as much as possible and tried to pass, but due to the wonderful lines up by Tan-T, AAA Car Wash was not able to make that pass into 3rd position. Wow. What a move. Gusari currently in 5th position. Still hanging on. Prancing horse on the steering wheel right there. Oh, getting a little bit of a swervy action right there. Let's try to keep this nice and smooth. We still got a lap left to go. We can still do it if he can still climb closer, inch closer and closer there. Sing, showing the pride of Thailand right there, because as you know, always been with us along over the years. Final laps, here we go. Let's call this the final countdown, shall we? Pro Class, about to end the highlight event of the day. Now the camera gets a little bit shaky. That was brilliant by the Polyphony folks, keeping everything focused on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. Gusari currently the one in contention, going up against Babe YK BBR, getting closer and closer. Mercedes-Benz trying to fend them off. Gusari getting a little bit of a slip and slide on the rear end of the car, possibly losing contact from the tires after a lot of heavy usage there and acceleration. But it seems that all eyes now should be on Vatana's BMW bags. The number 28 synonymous with Vatana. And of course, gotta also mention their Nexter folks as well. Alright, and the Triton. And it looks like he's taking it quite easy through the corners there. Where is Stuvik? Stuvik, not in the shot at all. Oh no! Finished first will be Vatana's BMW bags. Congratulations. And there we have Stuvik in second. Now we'll wait for the official remarks there as to who finished, with what, because you have to take into account any penalties that will be enforced. Now crossing the line, this amazing driver here, Tan-T AAA, and Gusari as well as Babe YK BBR. Man, I almost lost my mind when Gusari was trying to get up to 3rd position, and he did for a brief moment and lost it in the match up against Tan-T AAA. But that should probably be in the replay, don't you think? Oh! And everybody is tired now. Let's wait for some few beauty shots right here. And Vatana BMW Banks. And of course, gotta say congratulations to the Vatana folks. Once again, BMW Banks right there takes it with the Lamborghini, and of course adorned with the 1st position. Of course, we're waiting for the official remarks and of course the rundown for the results. But until that comes first, I would like to say that was a good race towards the ending. Why? Well, because, the first portion of the race, like I said, Catalunya is a course where high speed is involved, even through the corners. So there's not going to be a lot of chance where you're going to get some side-by-side action or 3 abreast. And I even said that, hey, if I even see 3 cars coming across a corner, that would be amazing. Guess what? Towards lap 16, if I'm not mistaken, they ran into that situation exactly. We had Gusari, we got AAA Car Wash, and they were tussling for, 3rd, 4th, and 5th position, back and forth. And Gusari even had a chance, but lost it. He had he was in 3rd position for a short time, climbed up to 4th, then took 3rd, then went back down to 5th again. Oh, what a bummer. That's okay, folks. The race does continue. The show does go on. And of course, this is the 2nd race for the Pro Class. we should be coming up with some official results coming up pretty shortly. Once again, I'd like to say a shout out to the sponsors out there. Thank you. And of course, a sawadee krap for the sponsors. Sing, Toyota, Be Quick, Apollo Oil out of Idemitsu Motor Oil, AF Racing, also JS Asia Beverage, Bird's Nest Juice Nest, and Aranex Global PTE Limited out of Hankook Tires. SCS Industries, Nexer, also in the house, and of course Pano Revo, big displays for their commercial billboards out there, one of the brightest LEDs out there to have a display. So if you're in the market for some good displays, check them out. Their name is Pano Revo. And of course, thank you to our media partners. Gotta say, Kapun Krap for the media partners out there in the world of True Vision Group. That's right, folks, True Vision Group. True for you as well, and WorkPoint Entertainment. I can't stress enough. WorkPoint Entertainment has always been one of the great partners out there. And also, if you watch their shows, they've got some great entertainment going on, especially with their game shows. I even did one of their cartoon animations out there for them. Voiceover. A little bit of a plug right there for you. Also from Siam Sports Syndicate Public Company Limited. Grand Prix International Public Company Limited is where I'm sitting right here in the house. And also Exo Autosports Magazine. That is the publication that is used mostly for, you know, speed freaks and performance folks out there. So anyway, folks, don't forget, the race ain't over yet, folks. Even though for today, the main event had concluded, we're waiting for the official results. But next race, next Saturday, don't forget, follow us on the Facebook page of Thailand Super Series on the Facebook. And you'll catch the third race for AM class, Pro class, and of course, little tidbits and information that you can find on the Facebook. Don't forget, if you want to get some giveaways from our wonderful, wonderful sponsors, just like and share. You know, if you like, we like. If you share, we share. We give away. Who doesn't like freebies? Who doesn't like freebies? And of course, folks, don't forget the main giveaway. I mean, I would be amazed whoever would get this gift. It's a giveaway for the SS cockpit, which is the, you know, the control steering wheel with the throttle and the pedal, the clutch, the gear shifters, the whole shebang, basically. If you want to play your game with the best controls out there, SS is the place to be right there for you. So, SS Cockpits, you can check them out over the Facebook page, on the internet page of sscockpits.com. Also, on the Facebook page where we're giving the information for who's going to be picked for the winners for each week. But the main prize will be the half cockpit. Okay, so stay tuned for that. Also for other gifts and giveaways brought to you in part by Nexter. And of course, giving away brake parts and cleaner. So you can clean your brakes or parts or whatever car parts you have that are not that clean. If you're a clean freak like me, you want to clean them up with the Nexter technology cleaners. Okay, they do a wonderful degreasing agent and of course gets things done and shiny new. All right, so this is Lord Siri Bunmi, still in the house, hanging it with you right here down by Grand Prix International building right here. Don't forget, next week, like I said, we're going to be holding the next digital race for the Thailand Super Series. It's the new age of racing. But, of course, all this could not have been possible without Polyphony Gran Turismo. Mr. Kazunori, I thank you, Kazunori, because, man, his brainchild thinking made him what he is today and gave us the ultimate sim for what we're using right now, for the telemetry, for the physics involved, for the detail in graphics. Anyway, guess what? Ding, 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 right off the press. I got the official results and the rundown as is. Check it out, folks. Tana Tip, number 28. As you know, 28 synonymous with Vatana. Driving down for Vatana Motorsports for Lamborghini Huracan GT3. Came in with 10 points for this track, which means he is number one for this track. And of course, that will be great for his championship overall when he garners it all up on the fourth race. Sandy Stuvik, second position again, but that's not bad. Stuvik Racing Project in the house. Audi R8 LMS gets 8 points for today over at Catalunya. Tanapat Pungpat, Tan TE78, AAA Car Wash and DC Garage with this Porsche 911 RSR gets 6 points right off the bat. 5 points goes for Babe YK BBR. All right. And he's driving the Mercedes that you saw earlier with the GT3. Kusiri for Kusiri 1834, driving for Sing Motorsports Team Thailand with a Ferrari 458 Italia GT3 machine, gets a 4-pointer. And, who's this? My DIY out of Idemitsu Racing Team. Audi R8 LMS gets 3 points. And Satien Tirakun, Laro Decimo, Moncon Motorsports, Porsche 911 RSR, 2 points in the house. That ain't bad. Carl, okay, mix up in the rosters. Carl Watanabe Bennett for Cool Astro Tank 4AF Racing, flying the Ford Mustang TAV8 Monster, and gets 1 point. There you go. And that is the roundup for the final results. Remember, folks, this is Lertsiri Boon Me hanging it tough right here and telling to you how it is for the track and bringing to you Thailand Super Series TSS Digital Racing, the new age of racing. Folks, stay tuned for more information. Check us out on the Facebook. Give us a like and share, because if you like and share, we like and we'll share for you. Give freebies and give outs, shout outs, as well as free gifts and prizes thanks to our sponsors. And I give a shout out once again to our sponsors in Attacked. We've got Toyota, Thailand, Sing Corporation, Be Quick, Apollo Oil Thailand, AF Racing, JS Asia, Beverage Birds Nest, Juice Nest, Aranix Global PTE, which is of course the Han Cook folks, and SCS Industry Nexter, Pano Revo Digital Screens. Thanks to our media partners once again, True Vision Group, True For You, WorkPoint Entertainment, Siam Sports Syndicate, Grand Prix International, Public Company Limited, and of course XO Autosports. A shout out to Polyphony, supported by Gran Turismo, and thank you as well to the folks over at TSS, bridging out to the digital world of racing. This is Lertsiri Bumi, over and out. Till next time, see you next Saturday. Bye bye. Sawadee krap.
คุณเคยตื่นเต้นไปกับโลกความเร็วแบบนี้ไหมความเร็วที่ดูสนุกเร้าใจที่แทบจะสมจริงแต่นี่ไม่ใช่โลกความเร็วสำหรับเราสิงห์ World of Speed พาคุณก้าวสู่4สนามแข่งจริงระดับโลกแบบ Exclusive ที่สเปนออสเตรียสิงคโปร์และญี่ปุ่นก้าวข้ามทุกสปีดสู่ที่สุดแห่งความเร็วตัวจริงกับสิงห์ World of Speed
เราเห็นนักสู้หัวใจแกร่งที่กำลังต่อกรกับอนาคตที่ไม่มีใครรู้สู้กับโชคชะตาสร้างทางรอดด้วย2 มือและนี่จะเป็นอีก1ตำนานหัวใจแกร่งที่ผ่านพ้นวิกฤตได้ครั้งแล้วครั้งเล่าและครั้งนี้ก็เช่นกัน Hilux Vivo ใหม่พลังแกร่งเหนือนิยาม
เปลี่ยนน้ำมันเครื่องต้องที่บีควิกที่ไหนบีควิกทำไมแชร์โมบิลเกนเป็นกิโลเท่าไหร่เริ่มต้น690 บาทดัง690 บาทแถมฟรีใส่กล่องฟรีค่าแรงคุ้มไหมคุ้มมากครบทุกบริการเรื่องรถที่บีควิกทั่วประเทศถึง31 ธันวาคมนี้
ใครบอกว่าการแข่งขันเริ่มต้นที่สัญญาณไฟเพราะสำหรับน้ำมันเครื่องอีเดมิสึมันเริ่มตั้งแต่คุณสตาร์ทด้วยสูตรใหม่อีเดมิสึเรซิ่งที่ช่วยให้เครื่องยนต์พร้อมอยู่ตลอดเวลาเพื่อสมรรถนะสูงสุดทุกจังหวะปกป้องเครื่องยนต์ทุกสภาวะยกระดับรถของคุณไปอีกขั้นอีเดมิสึผู้นำด้านน้ำมันเครื่องจากประเทศญี่ปุ่น
งคิดไม่ถึงว่ารังนกแท้ผสมคอลลาเจนกลูตาไทโอน Q10 และน้ำองุ่นขาวจะได้ Juiceness เครื่องดื่มเนื้อรังนกแท้ที่มิกซ์สิ่งดีๆลงตัวในขวดเดียว Juiceness
Be one with innovation and embrace victory. Hanguk Ta and Real Madrid. Together as one. Be one with it. Hanguk Ta, global partner of Real Madrid.
การดิฟคือชีวิตของผม ความฝันไม่ใช่แค่ชัยชนะในสนามใดสนามหนึ่ง แต่เป้าหมายคือแชมป์ระดับโลก จุดหมายไม่ว่าจะอยู่ไกลเพียงใดทุกเส้นชัยต้องปลอดภัย จุดหมายคือความปลอดภัยอาเบกเน็กสเตอร์